Hello, future VOD listeners. Welcome back to another stream and actually another podcast episode. First time in a while, probably in a few weeks that we've been doing this. But here I'm joined with Golden. And of course, if that sounds interesting, make sure to sit back, relax, enjoy the stream as I go set everything else up. And then I have Golden try to fill in the space whilst I'm doing everything else in between. But yeah, Golden, you could be heard. So if you want to start to introduce yourself with whatever you're comfortable with sharing, and yeah, we'll get started from there.
Hello, everybody. I go by GoldenEagle. I will also let you know my actual name is Joy, so I will answer to either one.
Name reveal?
And
Sorry.
maybe. Sneaky. I haven't streamed in a while, but I used to do in IRL streaming. So based on the farm, we did do some gaming, things like that. And I guess you'd say I'm retired. So based on...
Yeah. I was going to say there, with IRL streaming, who do I watch? And hey, Ida, how's it going, man? Welcome to the podcast episode. I usually like seeing CDog VA. He does a few IRL stuff. He's in usually cities and stuff like that. And I think was it him that went to Disneyland, or am I thinking of someone else? I think they took Iron Mouse to Disneyland. So yeah, no, you don't have to apologize. Right. You're all good. But it was a nice thing for him to do because just for anybody who doesn't know, Iron Mouse has immune deficiency. So she's only in recent time, I believe, been able to start walking again because she's basically been bedridden for a long time. But basically him being able to do that live stream there and include her in that stream, it was a nice way of saying, oh look, you can still see Disneyland, but you don't actually have to be here in person. And I thought that was pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know they did that.
Now I will also say, usually, at least I think anyway, in the wider sphere of stuff. Hey Luna as well, how's it going? In the wider sphere of the grand internet, usually it's unfortunate that a lot of people hear that IRL streaming, when they hear the words IRL streaming or streaming in real life, it's usually negative connotations because of the fact of all the people doing, I don't know, different pranks and trying to rise people for attention. But they're obviously, as I mentioned there with CDogVA, and I'm assuming yourself would also fall under this as well, Golden, but it's not all just assholes of cameras just trying to rise people for attention. There's actual good IRL streamers and retired ones, as you said yourself.
Yeah, no, we didn't do any rage bait or anything like that. Mine was how to or just farm life, or we even did animal ASMR. Just wholesome stuff. For a while we did some food reviews and toy reviews of things that we got sent.
Ah, yeah. No, it is with IRL streaming, it is an interesting perspective of especially because with you when you did your farming streams, it's an interesting kind of look into the actual day-to-day life of a farmer and taking care of different livestock is not the right word for animals. I don't know why I'm trying to be fancy saying it like that, but it's interesting because of course I know I live in Ireland and what is it, agriculture is meant to be big here, and I say I live in the middle of nowhere, but I've never really worked on a farm. So for someone like me and maybe a few other people, they'd be interested to look into that kind of lifestyle of what it's like to be a farmer and all that. All I've ever really heard is that there's usually very early wake up times and you're kind of constantly working and doing this, that, and the other. But yeah, maybe you can disprove that, unless it's different, obviously, in the US as well.
Oh no, I've been up for a couple hours. I mean, it's only 9:30 now, but I've been up for a couple hours. I had to feed and water everybody and make sure all the new babies were okay and accounted for. And yeah, there's always something to do.
Yeah. It's just very I'm assuming it would get very taxing after a while. So that's why it's harder for farmers to get time off, isn't it, as well? Because it's you know, you have to kind of find someone that has the same amount of time you have to look after your farm whilst like you go on a holiday, and you probably wouldn't even be able to go for too long if they can't, you know, look over your farm for the amount of time you want to be on holiday. Like,
Yeah, if we all want to go do something as a family, we
Yeah.
can't go for more than like 3 days because I can set up the animals to have food and water for that amount of time. But like for instance, when Luna and I go to TwitchCon,
Yeah.
half the family is staying home and it's just her and I going because I don't have anybody to take care of the animals.
Yeah. You know, it's a very
So yeah, it's really tough.
Yeah, it's no very demanding. Like, so hopefully, then, like as you've said before in chat, that like was, I think you were saying 5 or 10 odd years later that you'll get that opportunity to go to Japan with Luna, and I believe your son as well, isn't it, that you wanted to bring with you to Japan, because that would be a nice kind of.
Oh,
Sorry.
my son wants to visit Japan, but he doesn't want to live there. So our whole plan is he's finishing college or university, however you say, and needs to get settled in his own life before we can go. So right now we're preparing, meaning we're not buying any more large animals that will live for, 10, 20 years. Because we already, if we move to Japan, we'll have to take Luna's pig with us. And that's going to be a $5,000 trip just for the pig.
Just for the pig. Jeez, at least it's one way, like.
Yeah.
At least it's not backwards and forwards, like. Yeah, no, like, what was it? I don't know why that's reminding me of when PewDiePie moved to Japan. He was saying it was a big, complicated process to try and get his pugs initially over into Japan. So he had to act like a rich person for once and actually get a private jet for them just to get them over, like. So I'd say it must be a nightmare trying to get certain animals over into different countries. It's probably due to, like, I guess, like, what an animal, like, depending on their health and their kind of atmosphere as well, like, and their ecosystem that they are a part of, that maybe if you move that particular animal to this kind of climate or whatever, that it might funk up in some way, because I know especially with airlines they're very particular with what you can bring and not bring, even like with what's on your person. Like, oh, you have a full bottle of Coca-Cola that's sealed, now take that out. Pour it down the drain immediately before you come over here. I know I'm being pedantic saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tough taking animals just about anywhere. When I used to work in that field, there's a matter of health certificates for the animals, which means they have to have all their vaccines, physical exams. They also have these, they're called titers, or these special blood tests to make sure that they have the antibodies from the vaccine, so the vaccine was effective.
Yeah.
And the countries have rules on when all of this has to be done before you can come over. And even then, some of the countries have you quarantine your animal for anywhere from 10 days to a month.
Jeez,
once they get to that.
Damn, yeah, like, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, they are, like, living beings as well, very intelligent as well, a lot of them. So, like, it makes sense that there's a lot of precautions even behind, like, animals as well, like, and it's not just, obviously, people that got the brunt of, especially back in COVID times, the quarantining and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we actually already snowballed into thing there, and you gave a little bit of background of yourself, so... Yeah, just real quick, I'll make sure to catch up with chat, and I guess we can get into the standard questions, which actually you suggested we make that list during one of the podcast episodes, and now it's a staple, like. But yeah, no, I'll catch up with that in a second. I'm just going to open that as well, have that ready. Let's see, what's saying? Luna's raging, the emote's still not available. I actually am as well, like, I don't know why it's taking a bit long, but this time I'm probably just going to let it, like, leave it, because I do think animated ones do take a little bit longer to process. Because, I mean, at least, like, with just single emotes, if you think of it like this, it's like, they're just one frames, but, like, emotes are multiple frames, so they probably have to make sure, like, there's nothing suspicious put in between the frames of the emotes. Like, not that I would ever do anything like that myself, but yeah.
That would actually kind of be funny. Now I gotta look at people's emotes to see if anybody has a hidden frame.
Yeah. It's like imagine I could just imagine even if we just take the pet creature emote that's taken its time to be introduced into the chat. Like, imagine if somehow we managed to sneak in like the Among Us what was it, the twerking one or whatever, just in between, and Twitch like, hey, wait, hold on, I think we've seen something in between there. Wait, you might need to re-review this one real quick, Joe. Oh, and I remember there, actually, just looking at the channel rewards, I did actually add another new alert for anybody curious. It's the... I think I was editing an old video or something like that, just to chop it up into content for the future. And I seen, like, one of the lines I said in the past was, oh, I've got to add, like, yeah, as, like, an actual sound redeem in the future, or sound alert at the time. Yeah, there it is. It's already being played. Who's playing it now? Oh, I forgot the text. Oh, I guess just randomly on the screen, you'll just see, like, the fucking yeah girl just pop up in the middle, like, just covering chat. Shut your fucking mouth! I redeemed the wrong one. I redeemed the shut your fucking mouth instead of yeah. Wait. Because they're both... Oh, they were both marked as new, but now they're not. There we go. Yeah. And then let me redeem that one. So I guess we won't know who actually redeemed them unless I look in the Twitch chat itself, like, which is why I couldn't, like in OBS I have, like, the restream, which merges the YouTube and Kick chats, YouTube Shorts, and then Twitch chat separately. I had to take the Twitch chat out from restream so I could actually see the redeems being done in between, so I can actually, like, reread who's claimed what, like. But yeah, no, thank you, Golden, for demonstrating that example of yeah before I told myself to shut my mouth. Let's see. So there's that. Oh yeah, sorry, Ida as well. Give me the toys. I'm gonna set up some stuff. Just waiting for my mask to get here. I'm gonna draw something. Give me a random word, both of you guys. Shadow. What random word will you give, Golden?
Purple.
Purple?
Purple.
Shadow purple. There you go, Ada. Have fun with that. Let's see. Right, yeah, so let me scroll up here. Pop this over here. Actually, maybe I could pop this like this. Oh, yeah, no, I just think to myself, that's probably why I have the opera window open in one of the corners. In case I need to, like, look up things in between, like. But we don't need that right now, because right now... we're moving on to asking some questions to Golden that are very standard. So these would be, like, not very specific. And then after this, we can get into the more specific questions. There we go. I've actually made sure I'm prepared for that as well. But anyway, Golden, what are your hobbies?
I like lots of things. So I like to raise ducks.
As we can see from your profile picture.
I have done so many things. I have done wood burning. I make cosplay stuff for Luna and have for other people so I can sew. She has me doing some cross stitch for a sweater of hers. I used to paint. I used to etch mirrors for people also. That's basically where you cut out a design on a mirror, and then I would use a etching paste on it and then rinse it off. Let's see.
Oh, so would that, like, so, like, when you use the etch paint, would that, like, leave a design in the mirror that you've marked out, like? Or am I
yeah, so you put down a contact paper. So you put down a sticky paper over the mirror. You cut out the portion that you want etched on the mirror.
Yeah.
And then you paint down the cream and you rinse it off. And then you pull off the contact paper. So everything that had the cream on it is now frosted. And everything else is just a regular mirror. So I've done like tigers and panthers and cheetahs. I did a whole wedding set for champagne goblets for a couple. Um, so there was lots of stuff. I learned how to do that in high school, and so I won a few awards in high school for etching.
Fair play to you,
And
yeah.
then yeah, and then when I went to college with my grandmother when I was in high school. I did photography, so I learned black and white photography. And my favorite part was my portfolio was taking pictures of graffiti,
Mm.
and then the photo would be black and white, but I would take photography pencils and paint in the graffiti. So it's a black and white
Oh.
photograph with some color added.
Mm.
And then horseback riding,
I need to try that one
swimming,
day. And swimming, actually, as well.
eating.
Eating. Yeah, no, sorry, I
So
was just, Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so I have a lot of things that I've done.
Yeah. No, sorry, I just wanted to comment on the, painting, or not painting in, but, like, coloring in the black and white photos of graffiti, like that. Like, I love that kind of effect. Because I think, like, there's a few times in some games that I've played on stream that's kind of happened where, like, everything is either very bland colored or it's just, like, black and white. And then very specific colors are pointed out. I think, even weirdly enough, I think it was Genjin that did it once, where, like, the screen was basically, it was like a sepia kind of color. And then they had, like, the color of eyes or something, or blood or whatever it was, like, actually colored in. Like, I always love that kind of, what would you even call it? Like, kind of, I guess, design. There's just something that it hits my head in like a nice way. It's like, oh yes, I like just the use of that color there, because it kind of like drowns out all the other colors. Like, okay, this color in particular is very important, and especially for like highlighting graffiti there as well. It's like it kind of like keeps your mind focused on like, yes, this is graffiti in front of you, and I don't know, it's just really cool. Just rambling, that's all.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really cool. I kind of got the idea from, I used to see like greeting cards, and
Yeah.
they would be black and white photos with like two young children on it, and the children's cheeks would be painted, all blushy and red, and then the eyes were painted, but the rest of it was black and white. And I'm like, that's really cool. I think I can do
Hmm.
something with that.
Yeah, no, it is really like a really cool effect. I wonder, hold on, see, this is where the opera window comes in now. I'm gonna look up, see if there's an actual name for it. Under white photos with a pop of color. That's an interesting way of this. Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess the term I guess you can use, because when I was looking it up, I just put in black and white photos, and then it finished the rest saying with a pop of color. And it does like actually demonstrate exactly like the kind of design I believe we're talking about, where like most of the image is black and white and then there's a little bit of color. I'm gonna see if I could just grab this particular image for a minute. Actually, yeah, even that one will do. Let's see if we pop that on this main screen for a minute. Or not, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't appear. Where'd it go? Oh wait, is it because... Oh, it's because of the file type. Hold on. Very awkward that we can't just have PNG and thing like. Why Joe Vanta Black? Vanta Black? Is that like a character from a show? But yes, welcome, Oyster. I am interviewing. I say interviewing. I'm doing a podcast episode with Golden. Welcome, welcome. I see, that would be a really nice one if I can get that. It's a web. Oh no, never mind. This one actually shows up. Yeah, so like what I see on screen here, like the rest of it, like obviously it's meant to be like some form of flower or rose, but like they specifically only have like the red in, and obviously all the green and even the blue sky is all like grayed out, so it shows the like color in the photo. There's just something like that's really cool about it. I guess you can kind of say that's the same with like the shadow model as well, where the shadow model is like all the color from the original model is gone, and all that's really left is like, well, obviously I did stylize a bit by putting like white in my mouth and white on the glasses, But like obviously there's the orange eyes, and they've retained their kind of orange iris in my eyes that kind of retain that kind of color. Let me just throw that in the bin real quick before I forget to dump it. And then I'll hide this image. Hey Oyster, Vanta Black is the darkest color. Oh, is it? Yeah. It's a very black paint. Hey Golden, I asked for the shadow avatar Oyster. Ah, yish. Right. Sorry, let me... Where's my bits and bobs? Let me open them up again. There we go. Got the group back open. Right, so if you have nothing else to add, I'll move on to the next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And actually, I was just seeing there from Ida, guys who want to have a remake of their YouTube profile. Me, please. Wait, hold on. Where's the Vine Boom? Not Vine Boom. Actually, no, Vine Boom would be fine. me, please. Actually, I do have the perfect one for you. I still have the duck sensor beep. I just love that I can just spam that, like. And of course, I have the clown one. So if I have a clown take, I could just instantly press it. But anyway, sorry, not to digress any further. So how did you find / how long have you known Joe? I do think I know this a little bit, but I'll let you take the question there.
So I found Joe through Luna. Luna started looking for small streamers or just scrolling around, and she said, "Oh, I like this." And I think after she'd been watching for a little while, she showed me, and I said, "Okay, I like this." And that's it. And I'm not sure how long. I know it's probably been over a year.
I think it was during the 3rd year anniversary, so it would be September. So it's probably around 10 months now or so. At least I know when Luna probably found us, or it might be a bit longer.
Is there exclamation follow time or something?
Oh yeah. Let me bring up the command list real quick. I've forgotten all these commands. I don't really use them anymore. Top hours.
Follow age. There we go.
Follow age. Yeah, that's the one. So you can see exactly from there how long you've been following for. Unless in the meantime you unfollowed and refollowed.
Only 8 months, 17 days, and 23 hours. I thought it'd been longer than that. It feels longer than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like it's just who was it as well? I think it was Alex that had the longest time. But like, you know, it's like it does sometimes feel like it's been a lot longer. I think I've said that with being affiliate as well. It feels like I've been affiliate for a lot longer. Luna's 8 months, 5 days, and 22 hours. Nice.
Because she didn't have Twitch yet. She was following you on YouTube. And then once I found you over on Twitch, I gave her a Twitch account.
Ah, okay, yeah. So basically, you were like, here you go, here's Twitch account. You follow him now on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what do we have? So, if you could go anywhere in the world, where and why? That'd just be 2 seconds.
But I want to go so many places, because I do want to go to Japan.
Of course.
But I also want to go to Scotland. I want to go to Ireland, because they all have beautiful countrysides.
When it's not raining.
That's okay. You know, I'm not made of sugar. It's okay. I do want to visit, Germany, because they have some really cool castles. England has some really cool castles in history. I really always wanted to go to Australia, but don't like spiders and snakes.
I don't doubt you, to be honest.
So there really isn't a place that I don't want to go, because I could probably think of something that I want to see just about everywhere, and everywhere has at least something that I want to try eating.
Yeah.
Because I like food, and I like trying different foods from other places.
Same here. Like That's right, go.
Oh, Luna said eat fried rattlesnake, and I told her I've had rattlesnake before.
Oh, have you? Yeah. What did it taste like?
Yeah. It tastes like generic meat. So not quite chickeny, but just like, maybe probably pork would be the best thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've. Jeez, I wonder. I don't know if I've ever had really any exotic meats per se. I obviously consider snake meat very exotic. um, well, lamb's common. Um,
Oh, I like lamb. Lamb is good.
I do as well. Yeah.
Let's see,
Um,
lamb, goat, ostrich,
ostrich.
duck, chicken, of course, pig, chicken feet, fish of various types, There's some like specialty ones that, of course, I haven't tried. Like, I'm not an Inuit and don't have any Inuit friends, so I haven't tried seal or whale, um, things like that.
Yeah, I'd say, especially in that kind of department, like even if you did want to try them, they're probably a lot more. Was it? It's a lot more regulated, that sort of thing. Like I think it's what is it, Japan and one other place in the world that still like actually hunts whales, for all their kind of resources. But like I think they're almost at the stage where they're not really being hunted for food anymore, or something like that. But again, when there's a world full of 8 billion people, there's bound to be someone that's still gonna do it anyway, and like can still sell the goods, like whether it be legal or illegal.
Well, yeah, I was going to say they can't usually, like, for instance, up in like Alaska or the Inuits, they can do seal and whale, but they can't sell any of it. So the only way you could get it is if it's part of your family or you're visiting them or something like that.
Hmm. Sorry, I just seeing in the chat. Not the
Yeah,
seal.
I was watching that.
Calm down, Luna. If she was going to try seal, you wouldn't be around. Oh.
Oh yeah,
Um.
frogs. I've had frogs before.
Yeah, try
Eel. I
frogs.
like eel. I
Eel.
have not had bugs. I will not. Do not. No, I won't eat the bugs.
I think within my space of being a streamer, eventually I will probably buy some bugs and try them. I think it's
I will.
inevitable at this stage.
I will send you all the
Oh
bugs.
Jesus Christ! Please don't send, don't try to send live ones. That
Oh
didn't that
no,
happen to
no,
someone. Like
no.
I think that happened to someone. They somehow got like live bugs and it just crawled everywhere. And I'm like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm too much of
No,
a
no.
princess to
I would
deal
send you
with
the
all them.
food grade bugs. It's okay. Food grade bugs.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, right. On to the next question. Do you play games or watch anime or both? What is your favorite anime/game?
Um, I do play games and I do watch anime. I sometimes just watch whatever pops up on like Crunchyroll. But I do like, of course, the generics. Black Butler.
Mm.
Um, Luna had me watch Promise Neverland. That was a good one. Um, what is it? Reincarnated as a Slime. That was kind of funny. Um, Art of the Sword Online. So I've
Oh,
watched lots of anime. And then games. So my favorite games that I can play over and over again is the Diablo series, except for Diablo 4 because that's like strictly online and it
ah,
pisses me off because our internet is so sketchy. But 1, 2, and 3 I really like. Um, for a while, she and I did Animal Crossing, and I got bored after like my second year of a level 5 island. Um, let's see. Like games as long as they're not. I have a hard time with first person shooter games just because I have
Hmm.
a hard time aiming and shooting really quickly with the controls. But I like over the shoulder games. We
Yeah.
used to have all the Skylander games and all the figures. Matter of fact, I still have a big plastic bin of the Skylander figures, along with the Xbox 360 that we used to play them.
Oh man, yeah.
let's see,
I still have my 360.
Tekken, Street Fighter. I have a whole bunch of games on my Steam. I kind of like those Slay the Princess types, the graphic novel type games. Those are kind of neat. I enjoy those.
Yes, yes.
So, but we have an Xbox 360 that we haven't pulled out in a little while because it's in the other cabin. We use an Xbox One. I have a Mac at the moment, so a MacBook, and then Nintendo Switch. We've got a couple of those. We have the standard and a couple of lights, and then other games are like mobile or on the iPad. And then I think we have like a DS or two floating around also.
God, yeah, even the DS. I'm just thinking back. Like as I said there, the 360 I have in my storage box right now. It still works. It's just the tray doesn't come out, and I just haven't really gone to fix it because I'm mainly on computer nowadays anyway. But maybe one day, like if it ever warranted the reason to open it, but I don't know. It's there anyway. I don't. No, sorry, go on.
I had an issue. I had to replace the tray on ours too, but it works. We just I think it was whenever the Xbox One came out, I gave it to my son for Christmas, and then the 360 just went into the storage bin because, our place is kind of small because we're in the middle of nowhere. So.
Also, a fellow enjoyers of being in the middle of nowhere. And then I think I've said it before. I've had DSs before. It feels so weird when I think back that I actually bought a 3DS with like my confirmation money. When you live, was it when you're Christian, whichever like religion stuff. You do your communion, then your confirmation, and then you get a lot of money during that time. And for whatever reason, I bought a 3DS. It was fun at the time, and then a month later, I was like, I'm gonna trade it in and just get a different game for the Xbox. I didn't know.
Yeah, I remember having the 3DS, and we had so many games, but I can't even remember all they were.
Yeah, I know. I used to love the DSi, DSi Lite or whichever it was called at the time, and I loved it so much, but then this top screen just broke. It's like, well, guess it's just broke now. I guess I'm just not playing on this anymore. Very sad day.
Oh, yeah, we also have a Nintendo Wii still, but I don't know if she still works because we haven't used her in a while. PlayStation 2. Oh, my all-time favorite game, if you ever have a PS2 and you can play it, is Gauntlet Dark Legacy. And I used to play that in the arcade, and then I found out it was available on the PS2, and so I had to buy a PS2 and the game just so that I could have them.
Just looking up a few bits there now of Gauntlet. Like the actual box art gives me vibes of like the games at the time. I even see an Xbox copy of the game there as well. I'm like, yeah, no, that fits pretty well.
Like, have an Xbox copy now? I did not know that.
Yeah, no, I see. I just looked up on Google. There's a GameCube one. There's an Xbox version. And obviously, as you said, there's PlayStation 2. There's a PlayStation 2 cover I'm seeing right now. But guaranteed. I mean, like if we had that game at the time ourselves, we probably would have played it because, especially back then, like when we initially got our original Xbox, that's kind of where we started with gaming. There was somehow a shop in the middle of nowhere that was selling games for it. And we only really... It literally was just like you would get that one game or maybe two. And then that would do you till like either one of me or my brother's birthday. And then till Christmas would be the next stretch after then. Like, so my birthday would be in June. So we would have probably had to wait all the way till December to get another game. Like, it's such a different time. Because, I mean, even just there, like last week I bought 3 games and haven't really... I mean, actually, no, I have actually opened them. At least I'm not leaving them to dust just yet. Like, I'm not just leaving them to gather dust. But, like, that's the fate with a lot of games that I usually buy now. It's just, like, sometimes I'll buy them, and I'll play them for a little bit, but then I won't come back to them for a long time. I mean, geez, if you ask the Epic Games library that I have, all those free games, the last time I played with him, they'll be like, it's 84 years, bro. He's not like playing us at all. Like,
That's what way back in like 2004 or 5, there used to be a company called GameFly, and it was kind of like how Netflix used to be. You have a subscription for however many discs you want at a time. You choose your game platform. So mine was Nintendo Wii, and they would send games, and then you send them back, and they'd send you another one. So I would just rotate, and at the time didn't need sleep because I was younger, and I would get a game, binge it for a day, send it back, and they'd send me another one. So I'd go through about 3-4 games a week that way, and that I kind of miss, because if I really liked the game, then I could go out and try it, buy it to keep, and if I didn't, then I didn't waste money on it.
Yeah, no, that's a good system to have, to be honest. Like, I know the only similar system I've heard somebody doing recently would be Justin, like Lobster Knight. He aims for a lot of achievements in a lot of games, and he kind of just keeps playing a lot of them. I don't know if he actually enjoys a lot of the games that he's playing with the amount he's been playing and just earning the achievements from, but I mean, he would probably get a similar gauge from that if he was offered the okay, here's a subscription to play any game you want. Like, he would probably do the same thing as you did, like just play the game through, and then if you wanted the game back, like obviously buy the game and so on. But like that is like, that's basically the min-max way of just playing as many games as you can and enjoying as many of them as you can as well. Like, nowadays, like, my head spins just thinking about like all the new games that come out. That's why I kind of just I focus on like what I have, like, and what I'm interested in. That just happens to pop up in my peripheral, like.
Yeah, I usually count on my son to say, "Oh, this game's kind of good," because he'll get the ads for them. Or if I know it's related to a game I've already played, then it's like, okay, we'll get that too.
Yeah, it's like in a weird analogy, I'm gonna say it's like a music artist when they release a song. Like, let's say you find a new artist and you listen to a new song. You're like, oh, I actually really like that song. I'll listen to what else they've made. Like, you're kind of going on that trust basis, because I don't know if you do it by studio as well, but, well, obviously, like with me, I would tend to, like, it's, at least nowadays, I would look out for what studios doing, Bungie, and seeing like what else they're making and give their other games a try and such like that. I mean, that's probably why I even did that, like the OG marathon stream, because I was kind of curious, like, Bungie's kind of roots, of course, way before a thing. And obviously with Bungie, I played Halo, and I obviously knew, oh, Destiny, yeah, that's a game that Bungie made with Activision. That might be cool. And then little did I know that I'd be sinking 10 years into the game before I'm like, maybe I'm just tired now. Maybe I shouldn't play this franchise anymore. As I'm looking at Destiny rising and coming over the horizon, actually funny. But yeah.
Well,
hey, Hill,
yeah, we didn't go the Destiny route, but we do own all the Halo games.
Oh yeah. I actually don't have I played all of them. Well, okay, wait. I've had the Master Chief Collection at least. So I know definitely the first 4 I would have played and done. 5 I did play. Infinite, I did play the campaign of that. I thought it was okay. OST, yeah, definitely played. I think OST was one of the I think that was the first Halo game that my brother's friend gave to my brother just to play for a little bit with me. And like, it was pretty good. I probably should go back and replay that at some point, because people always say that like that's one of the better Halos. Obviously on top of Halo Reach as well, which like Halo Reach was like our, like, me, my brother, and my dad's like original kind of Destiny or Destiny 2. Whereas like a game we all played, and we all played just religiously day in, day out. Like, we didn't even have Wi-Fi or internet or anything. We literally just played the same campaign missions over and over and over again. And like, maybe me and my brother would play a bit of Firefight, but that's really it. Like, that's how far it would go. It's funny, like originally, like how that kind of grasped our attention, and it obviously led into Destiny and so on and so forth. How many times can I say Destiny during this stream now? Let's see.
It's 720.
And counting.
Yeah, going strong.
Right. Let's move on then to what's your dream job / plans for the future, if comfortable with sharing them. Now, obviously, we do know a little bit of this already, but for just in case somebody is new and they don't know, then if you're comfortable with sharing, then share away.
I would like to open a duck cafe. It does not mean we're going to serve ducks. It means that it would be duck themed. So, in Japan, they have a lot of animal cafes where you can go in and pet and cuddle the animals and then have tea, coffee, cakes, things like that. So I would like to do that. Centered, although Luna doesn't think it'll catch on because everybody likes, the cute little small call ducks, but I love Muscovy ducks because they're very personable, they're very friendly, you can train them. So I want to have a Muscovy duck-themed cafe in Japan.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, again, I'm pulling up reference. I have, like, Johnny, pull up the reference image there for me on Muscovy ducks. I'm looking at them now. As you said, they're meant to be very friendly, like. But I'd say it will do well. I mean, again, Sea Dog V, he went to I think it was a capybara, or it might have been abroad in Japan, one of them. But they went to like a capybara cafe. I was like, that's actually really cute. Like, hold on, a capi.
Yeah, there's a capybara cafe. I think there's an otter cafe, a mini pig cafe, cat cafes, corgi cafes, an owl cafe.
Oh.
But I also have a friend who's a real estate agent in Japan, and he specializes in selling the abandoned houses that are kind of countryside-ish. And so our other thought, too, is to get a house to live in and then get a second one to do like a rental or Airbnb type situation. Because Japan is relatively small, so what's funny is their idea of out in the country is like a 10-minute walk away from the closest train station to go to, Tokyo, which is 30 minutes away by train.
Yeah. God, that's mad to think about, like. Sorry, I'm just trying to picture that, like, because even for myself to get to a train station, obviously without doxing too much about myself, like, it's not really a short journey, let's just say that much. I can't just go 10 minutes and be like, oh, look, there's a train.
Oh, yeah, my closest train here, and it's not even like a train or a subway. This is the main train that takes you, like, all the way down to California or all the way across the coast, the Amtrak train. That's like an hour and a half from us.
Yeah. Because I know I've seen some video recommended to me before about, Europe's trains are so much better than America in this. And then I think I looked at Ireland and, like, Ireland's not doing too hot either, to be honest. Like, Ireland's not quite there either. I mean, it's... Let's just say, like, it was better... Well, literally, this map is saying 100 years ago. Basically, 100 years ago, it's better than it is now. Because a lot of them... I've been to some... Actually, the one I've been to in recent time... half of it's been probably closed for, like, half a decade. Like, the other half is just not used. Because it's just not really... I don't know, like, they don't really, if you don't live, like, in the, basically, if you don't live in Dublin, then there's not a lot of infrastructure, even in terms of buses. Like, you kind of have to go out of your way in some areas to actually get a bus. Like, it's only every few years that they actually start introducing, like, new bus routes and train routes and stuff like that. Very sad to see, but... At the same time, that's why I have a car. That's why I have a car now, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But again, it's still so sad though, like, that a lot of people can't just go out their door and be like, oh, in town there's this bus I can take and it goes to here and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they just recently. So where I live, my closest town, which is only like 200 people, is 26 miles away. And they just recently, within the last 6 months, finally have a bus that comes out to the town once a week to go back to the main town, which is an hour and a half away, for people to do shopping. So that a lot of people were very happy with that, to finally be able to at least once a week get out and go shopping without having to count on friends for a ride or something.
Gee, I know that's mad. Like, I don't think, like, I know I went on a little bit of a rant of the Irish one, but just once a week, like, just to pop out again,
And
at
it's really,
least. Sorry, go on.
yeah, it's really fast too, because you have to be down to catch the bus at, I think it's somewhere around, let's say, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to town, after it makes all its stops, you have 2 hours to get your stuff done before you have to catch the bus back.
God, yeah. So you're feeling like you're on a time pressure as well, like when you do take that bus, like.
Yeah. Well, and for instance, so both of my kids did homeschooling because where we live, there is a bus that would come pick them up about 9 miles down the road, but it would pick them up for school at 5:30 in the morning because of all the stops they would have to make and how far away the school is. And then after school, they wouldn't get dropped off until 5:30 at night. So it's like, no, that's too many hours to be gone and having little to no sleep. So
Yeah, that's like a lot of waiting around, like, and having to get up early for that as well. Like, I mean, I don't doubt you for that at that point to get like both of them homeschooled, because what other option do you really have other than just having to wait a lot? Again, relating back to me now in the car, like, I just started to just not really like waiting around for like buses and stuff like that, and always feeling like I have to be like on a time pressure to always get the bus or I'll miss it. And then, like, at least in my case, it's not as bad. I only had to wait like another hour for that bus, but I know for a fact if I miss the bus and I have to wait another hour for the next one, I am probably going to go to a shop and I'm probably going to buy something, like, just to fill in the blank time in between. Because I try not to use, like, I try not to watch videos on my phone whilst I'm out and about, and I try not, obviously, to doom scroll if I can as well whilst I'm outside. Like, whilst I'm outside, I try to be as outside as I can before I go into a shop and probably buy something. Yeah, no, like, I understand, though, like, that kind of, like, waiting around. Like, again, that's why, like, I'm so glad when I leave work, I'm like, I can just go straight into my car and I can get straight home. It doesn't have to be on time. I don't have to be early or late. I can just take it as I can and go from there, like. Spin. Sorry, I seen the spinning emotes.
well, the bus, I guess I don't think you guys don't have the yellow school buses over there. So the bus that they would pick them up is specific for the school district. So if they missed the bus, you don't go to school that day.
Yeah, as well as that, like, and especially for a school setting, like, to miss a day just because you couldn't get the bus on time.
So I do have kind of a funny story about that. So growing up, I lived in what's called the Bay Area. It's in like California. And I grew up with my grandmother, my grandpa, my cousin, he was a year younger than me, and myself. And we used to have to walk from my grandmother's house up the road about half mile to catch the bus to go to school. Well, my cousin would always go, "Hey, I've got a shortcut." And we would miss that bus at least once a week and piss off my grandmother so much. So then we'd have to spend the day on our room because we couldn't obviously make the bus in time. So we'd have to be punished.
Yeah. God, yeah, I wonder, like that shortcut, like, I mean, it mustn't have been really a shortcut if you kept missing the bus all the time. I say
Oh
it all
no,
the time, but
it was a joke among us. Yeah. Anytime he said, "I know a shortcut," or "Let's take the shortcut," no such thing. It never would work.
Yeah. Joe Ban Lab. I just read what Lab said there as well. Grandma would come out with a double barrel. Um, then I'm just
She
trying to
had a
think to
22, not a double barrel, but okay.
myself. Of course, America. I mean, thinking about it now, yeah, no, so we wouldn't have the stereotypical yellow buses that the like that you'd see in America. Because even when me and Brando went to America, I was looking out the window. I was like, "Wait, those buses are real? Huh? I thought that was just all in the in the shows and the movies. Like, I didn't actually think the yellow buses were real." But to be fair, at the same time, I know when I went back to when I was in school, it wasn't specific, but our school bus wasn't. It was basically like a white one for a few years, and then eventually, like they got like the bus driver themselves was given a new bus, and it was actually yellow, as a funny matter of fact. And I think probably at the time I would have thought to myself, "Oh, this feels like a more of a like a what an American bus probably is, or something on that lines." Like, indeed, Golden is $1K okay? Question mark. Oh, he's bullying me in DM. Ah, yes. Just Lab, just casually bullying Luna. Yeah.
Is he paying me $1,000? I mean, that's pretty cool. I could use some more bird feed and hay.
So, Lab, are you paying Golden $1K? As I ask her the next question.
I mean, Luna would probably have me save it for TwitchCon instead.
I was going to ask you your favorite meal as part of the next question, but bird feed must be part of that as your duck. No, but sorry. So yeah, next question is, what's your favorite meal and least favorite too? Question mark.
I like sushi because there's so many different kinds of sushi. I could eat sushi every day. Least favorite. I do not like raw spinach.
Understandable, to be honest. Yeah, actually, like I can't remember if it was spinach or if it was some other green leaves. Like, yeah, no, especially raw, like on its own, especially as like I know at one point, bless my mom for trying, but she was putting it into like the I'll do that in a second, lab. Whatchamacallit, she was putting like spinach. It was probably cooked, to be honest, but it was like mixed in with like mashed potatoes, and it was fine for a while. But like I think even like she got sick of having it in the potato, so eventually it was just phased out of the rotating dinner of the week. Like,
Yeah, I don't mind it cooked. I just don't like it. I just don't like it raw. It just tastes weird.
yeah. Oh, let me just put on this timer now. So 5 minutes, starting now. So I can't say the like word.
Oh, like what?
That exactly, yeah. Anyway, next question before I say the word by accident. What's your favorite genre of music? What artist, if any?
I prefer music that you can sing to. I do like classic rock. There is some J-pop that Luna's introduced me to that I like. Let's see. I like Queen, Supertramp, some of the hair bands. So, I like Alice Cooper, some of the Kiss songs. So I don't have like a certain artist. It's just if something catches my ear. Like I know I like some of the Nickelback songs, but I don't like them all. There's like 3.
Yeah.
Five for Fighting, shoot, my brain just died. Red Hot Chili Peppers. So there's some that I like. I think even Nirvana has one song, just one, that I'll listen to, and that's it. The rest of their music I can't stand. My uncle used to listen to them all the time, and I'm like, oh God, that's too loud and obnoxious. But so I don't have a specific, just anything you can sing to, anything with a catchy beat.
Yeah, like God damn, I said the word.
God.
This
And then I have Madison, Luna in the background going, Ruby-chan.
Hi.
Nani daske?
You mean nata? You're getting that from both ends now, IRL and on my side.
Oh yeah.
I do remember that they're doing a collab in Japan, where they replaced the ice cream names with McDonald's menu items, and I thought, oh, did somebody just like make an AI of this? Because it looked, I said the word again, because it looked like so. Fuck's sake, that's right. Because it looked like that somebody edited it unofficially, but it was official. And it's funny because they say different word like McDonald's menu item instead of ice cream flavors.
Huh.
Sorry. Words very small. I say like a lot. Can I ask Golden something in a form of an 8-second vid? Huh? What do you mean, lab? I'll actually ask you the next question anyway, as we get a response from lab. What is your favorite movie / TV series or favorite of each?
Favorite movie or TV series? Okay. So, favorite movie that I can watch over and over. There's 2, 3 of them. One, I like the Riddick series with Vin Diesel. And then Interview with the Vampire. Not the new series, but the original one from... oh shoot, I can't remember what year that was done. But yeah, the Interview with the Vampire.
1994?
And then that's it. Yeah, it's somewhere in like the 90s.
Yeah.
And then the Riddick series.
Wait,
I like those.
The Riddick, sorry. Riddick.
And then TV series. So we don't have TV, so everything we do is kind of streamed. Oh, well, the ones that I liked Face Off, which Luna and I used to watch together. And it was basically about oh, fuck you, lab. Was basically about special effects artists. And so we really liked that series. And then I tend to like the Great British Bake Off, some of the other cooking shows.
It was cracking, wasn't it? With that mate KSI, he was on that once. You know that, right? I think he was anyway. Actually, if you want to continue, I was just going to say, Lab, how rude of you, man. How absolutely rude. And I'll just click this video real quick.
Considering I graduated high school in 93.
Sorry, the question Lab wanted to ask is in the form of a Breaking Bad clip, and the title of it is "Why Are You Blue?" I'm just going to play that real quick and probably not take time for it.
I'm really sorry, okay? What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
Love that scene.
That's what Luna apparently keeps referencing to me too, because it's hard to paint digitally in black.
I'd imagine so. Yeah. Because your duck wing detail, that would just kind of blend in quite a bit, wouldn't it? Because if you're using the color black, you wouldn't really be able to see it as well if you just used a different color. I mean, I think that's maybe the reason why the outline of this model is like a different color as opposed to just being black. Because I think usually it is just out like a black outline or something like that. Unless I just messed up making the model, but this is how it's ended up anyway. 1, 2, Sorry, not trying to flex. I'm just doing the push-ups now before I forget. Oh, we might have to wait on Golden for a little bit. The internet might be dipping.
No, I'm here. I'm just listening to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you just cut out there for a minute.
Oh no, but I have to run outside for just a split second.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And check on the baby turkeys. So I'm going to put you on mute for just a second.
Yeah. Go ahead. It's all good.
All right. If I can figure out where the button is.
Let's catch
Okay,
up.
you ready?
Yeah. Face Off, that song with The Rock. And I mean, I think Golden did mention The Rock there. Ban him. Wait, really, XD? Haha. Why are you blue? Doing black hair sucks. Yeah, so I don't think... You haven't made an emote with black hair, right? So that's probably why. I mean, you're probably glad my hair is usually, like, blue instead of black, like. Okay, the people above have been hammering stuff for the past couple of hours. They are building a new floor or something. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully you can still listen to the stream without any more annoyance, like... Whoa! Guys, that was insane! This should be pussy! Anyway, sorry. Let's see, what's Ida saying here as well, guys? One thing. Purple is a red skittle, question mark? And go to listen to music, and I'll take care, man. Oh, and welcome back, actually. You just came back there. And hey, IHHH, sorry, man. I just remembered midway through our conversations with Golden that your name is IHH, not Hill. Well, I mean, it's Hill now, but used to be IHH. This man wants to make streaming his job, by the way. Wait, me? Or are you talking about someone else? Please don't make me draw black hair. No, Luna, don't worry. I understand. Because I know when I used to play around with Photoshop editing certain characters' hair to be black, it used to be a bit of a 50-50 if it either work or not work. So I don't even doubt if you never want to do that. Like, that's why she refused to draw me, by the way, no matter how much I blackmail her. What do you think about that?
She didn't refuse to draw you. I'm trying to make her finish the Joseph ones.
Well, let me count in the folder. How much do I have in the folder right now for emotes?
Not enough. She has a lot of started ones, but she needs to finish them.
Yeah. Nah, again, as I said to her before in DMs, like, she can take as much time as she needs. Like, I don't want to put any pressure or rush or anything like that. Because, I mean, it's not like I'll die tomorrow if I don't have all the emotes. By the way, that's a sign to do some. No, joke. What?
I told her that she was supposed to have another one for this podcast. She says she's waiting for the other baldness to post.
Yeah, no, sorry. Again, just Twitch are being funky, like. They have to take a little bit of time. Oh yeah, there we go. HQ. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 8 emotes. 8 beautiful emotes are part of our chats. Whether it be in the Discord or not. Actually, I did realize because I don't have Nitro anymore, I can't use the... I can use the sticker of the bald head pattern, but I can't like actually use the emotes, which is so weird because I'm the one that submitted that as well. Twitch or not Twitch, Discord Nitro will be it's a weird thing. I think I'm fine without it anyway. Like I don't need another subscription that I need to keep in. Well, I mean, I don't even keep it in the back of my head. I just write it on the board. It's not really for me. Yes, causing family chaos since. Oh Jesus, man. You don't need to say that about poor Golden. Lab, you're trouble, lol. Oh wait, no, you're dead. Yeah, no, take care, man, Oyster, as well, and safe driving, as Golden says there. Like, if you pick, hold on. If you pick what the fuck you want, I can draw you, Lab. Never mentioned Golden. I was talking about me. About you? Anyway, sorry. Right. Let's get back on track. So we were mentioning TV series. The next one, I think you might have even mentioned this before in one of the previous podcast episodes, but if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
So I would do teleportation, and here's why.
Yeah.
Most people will do like time travel, but the way I see the time travel is like the time machine from, what is that, Orson Welles or whatever, where you're stuck in one place and you can go back and forth. But I figured if I can teleport and I could picture the when along with the where, then I could even teleport back and forth in time.
Oh.
And how I got that idea is there's a series of books that I really liked called the Dragon Rider series by Anne McCaffrey. And the dragons can basically teleport. All they have to do is the rider has to be able to picture where they want to be. And they can go to that place. Did I lose you?
No, I'm thinking
Okay,
there.
okay. My phone beeped on me, so I thought it had disconnected the call.
It did seem like it there for a minute, but no, as you said, just give it a little time and you kicked back in, so you're all good.
So I figured with teleportation, if you can picture the where, you can even picture the when. So whether you wanted to go way back, you could always use star charts and where the stars are located and go to the when that you wanted to go along with the where.
Jeez, yeah, no, you've really fucking hell, you've thought that through quite a bit, like
I am a nerd, so I think of things like that.
Fair enough, yeah. I was just so in particular with the time travel, assuming that's more of like just if you were just still and then you can only go back to forwards from there, but if you were able to just teleport and time was a factor of that, then I mean you're basically getting both those kind of powers in one, even if unintentionally, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's what I think. I think that time travel would just be a side effect of teleportation.
Yeah.
Because if I screwed up and let's say I wanted to teleport to your house, let's say I knew what your house looked like, but I didn't think of the time that I wanted to teleport to you. So maybe instead of being there right now, I show up and it's, bright and sunny like it is at my house. So, it's not, I show up in the afternoon at your house instead of 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, like there is like a lot of nuance with the whole superpower question, like, but again, this is the fun of it though, that like, as you've just presented your case there, like anybody can come on and say like, oh well, I would like this power because we're choosing these particular rule sets for it, like, unless maybe in the future we nerf it where it's like, okay, if you decide the cool rule set, somebody else has to decide some sort of debuff. It's like how Superman is super, but he's weakness is like kryptonite. Like there's something to counter his like super abilities. Yeah,
I mean, I could understand. So let's say I wanted to do two things at once.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go grocery shopping, but yet I also want to be sure that I'm at work. There's two of me now in one timeline, and so I think that could make you have some type of adverse reaction. So I think you'd have to be careful and not have too many of you in one timeline.
Yeah, because there was a theory, or not a theory, it's probably in one of the old cartoons I watched before, that's like there was lines mentioned of it, they were tackling time travel, and like what stuck with me was like, we have to be careful when we're time traveling and stuff like that, because if you bump in, like if you go back in time and you bump into your old self back in time, then the like their kind of theory for the show, at least for when they were tackling, is like, well, your present atoms and molecules and whatever else is going back in time, and those same molecules are there at the same time, so when they collide, something big and bad happens, like, I don't know, universe explodes or implodes or whatever, like.
Oh, like the whole used to be if you touch your doppelganger or something.
Yeah.
Something adverse happens.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, I do have to mention the out loud, as Lab's just saying there about, so essentially Golden has been listening to us go, teleportation, time travel, teleportation, time travel, for the past few podcasts, and did the playground rules of, I have everything. Has anybody mentioned the superpower of being an omnipotent being or whatever it is? Like, well, actually, I mean, omnipotent doesn't really necessarily mean certain. I don't. Anyway, I'm not even going to go into that myself. I'm going to move on before it turns into even more of a conversation like omnipotent Lamau. Right. So, what's a funny / embarrassing story you can share, if any?
As I keep being reminded by my kids, what's funny to me apparently isn't funny to anybody else. But let's see. I have a couple, maybe. So I told you my name earlier.
Yeah.
And so my name is Joy. That's what I go by. So, but it is my middle name. And my first name and my middle name is the same as my mother's. And she went by her first name. So growing up, I was always Joy. So that when I started school in 2nd grade and the teacher was calling roll, I never answered because I didn't know that was my name. Because she did first names. But, so when I was a vet tech for many years, I kept being told by my subordinates that me being named Joy is like a Rottweiler being named Fifi. Because I'm not a joyous bumblebee, as the receptionist would say to me. But, so I always thought that was kind of funny that, you know, I have this name that people think is the anti of who I actually am. Let's see. And then one day when I was at work, because I do, you know, part-time at a gas station just for extra Luna spending money. And one day I was out because in our state, you used to have to pump gas for people. They couldn't do it themselves. And I was walking back into, I was jogging back into the station and I caught my foot on, it's like a little step up where the pump is, and tripped. And I've done martial arts for many years. So what I did was I rolled, stood up, and kept going. And the person in the car is like, "Are you okay?" And I turned around and I go, "You saw nothing?" And I kept going. But I bruised my knee very nicely.
Oof, yeah.
But it was very embarrassing that, one, it was caught on camera, so my boss saw it later, and when I called him to give him closing numbers, he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. You saw nothing." And then the customer saw it too. I'm like, "No, we'll just laugh and pretend it didn't happen."
And hey, yeah, man, how's it going? What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, so with the pumps, like, yeah, I think, like, no matter how long, like, even when my dad used to fill up his car, he used to do it himself. Like, obviously I do that myself now as well, because we don't really, I think it's more so, especially, well, maybe it mightn't even be that, but it's just like, I guess it's like not really a thing where somebody actually comes out to serve you. If anything, I know in Ireland there's some gas stations, as you may say, that are literally automated now. So literally you just go up to them, you fill your car, and like I think you could just like tap your card or something on the actual pump itself, pay for it, and then go straight off. You don't even see a single person. You don't actually go into a little shop to, you know, get maybe a newspaper or bread or milk or whatever inside as well. It's literally just like you just like pop in, fill the car, tap the card, and then off you go as well. Like, so it's very opposite direction. Like,
well, so a lot of the gas stations have little mini marts that are next to them, little convenience stores.
yeah.
You don't have to go in because most of the stations have, like you said, you can use your card outside on the pump, tap your card, put your card in, however you want to do it. If you have a card that's not accepted or you have cash, then you can go inside the mini mart and pay them and say, "Hey, I want to put $20 on pump number 3," and then they'll set up the pump for you to pump yourself. So in Oregon and New Jersey, for until about 2.5 years ago, were the only states where you could not pump your own gas. And Oregon did it mainly so that they would create jobs, because if you have a gas attendant, that's someone who's being paid to do a job. And then 2.5 years ago, they decided that they don't have to, you can pump your own gas now, which is fine because I prefer to do it myself anyway. But if, like for our station, even though you can pump your own gas, we have to have someone who is there and available to pump for you if you either don't know how, because I get a lot of 80-plus-year-old people who have never pumped their own gas and don't know how to do it. Or I do get people who are disabled or handicapped, and it's really hard for them to get in and out of their car to pump their own gas. Or for any reason at all, technically. They don't have to say, oh, I'm handicapped. They just say, could you pump my own gas? And I have to say yes. Sometimes when I'm there by myself, it's just a matter of, hey, let me check this person out in the store first, and I'll be right out and pump your gas for you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise a station could be fined. They can either say, no, you can't pump your own gas, but they're not allowed to say, no, the whole station is self-serve. They have to at least have one pump where somebody will help you.
Yeah. And it does make sense in that kind of way to make sure somebody's doing something as well. So I was trying to think, what else? Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I was just reading as well. Xeno said something. Ad glitch Joe, stream sound playing with ad, and when ad ends, sound echoes? Does it? Oh, let me just check the stream real quick. And when ad ends, sound echoes? Does it? Oh, let me just check the stream real quick. Is it going to catch up eventually? When ad ends, sound... Yeah, so it's fine now, but that must be just a weird thing with ads. See, like... I don't really know, because, as I said, I'm a tier 3 sub to myself automatically, because Twitch just gave me a tier 3 sub to myself for a lifetime. Unless, actually, maybe if I just open it in a private tab real quick. Let me see. If I just open this.
Well, isn't Xeno subbed?
Xeno... oh, yeah, wait, actually. Maybe if I... Wait.
Okay,
oh, no, they're
hold
VIP.
on. Okay, we'll fix that.
No, will we fix it?
Yeah, we'll fix it.
I like money. No,
no,
I'm
fixing it. It's fixed.
But the ad glitch, so... I'm just trying to think of that, though. So that must be just a weird thing when the ad plays, because... Just... Thanks, Golden, as well, for gifting Xeno gifted tier sub. Jeez, my English. Because I'm just trying to think at the same time. Yippee! Hold on. Where's Yippee?
It's really weird. So I have never been able to do more than a tier 1 like sub for myself on anybody's platform. Supposedly, you can just go to where you subscribe and upgrade your subscription. But I've never had that option available on anybody who I follow or sub to. Yippee! No worries, Xeno.
It's strange, because
I wanted to, like, up to do, like, a tier 2, 2, or 3 for a couple of people, and it never, ever have I been given the option.
It's not, like, a thing... because the only other thing I can think it's maybe a geo thing, but I don't think there should be any reason, just because of where you live, like, that you shouldn't be able to tier 2 or a tier 3 sub to somebody for yourself.
Yeah.
Like. And that happened, as you said, platform. So that happened on Kick as well, didn't it?
Oh yeah, Kick wouldn't let me do I can't sub to you on Kick. I can gift you subs, but I can't sub to you on Kick, and I don't know why.
Such a weird bug, like. Well, I say bug, but no, it must be more than just a bug at that point. Hey. Ignore the background music, or sound, that's somebody else's stream. Where's my own channel? There we go. Takes me 5 years to get my own Kick channel. Let me try and open Kick in another tab as well. Let me actually just mute it in advance. So if I click subscribe. Yeah, so... Let me go back to. I'm going back to the force now between the platforms. I want to see. You gifted a Laba sub as well. Thanks, Golden, as well. Thank you very much. I will bow.
Well, now since we know that the 2 that I gifted last month got refunded to me because we gifted them at the same time.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised they just didn't be like, go on, we'll just give them both like 2 months of the subscription, like just not chocolate block. What's a better word? Like add them on top of each other, so the time basically just extends. Like, but I guess
yeah,
then
I
at
figured
that point,
they would have done it.
yeah, no, sorry, I was going to say I at that point I'd say it must just be more of like if somebody was going to get more than a whatchamacallit, a month, they'd have to do it there and then like how Luna subbed there for 3 months. So you'd have to just do it in that one transaction rather than it just being added on top of each other, like.
Yeah, and I can't gift subs for more than 1 month at a time. But yeah, because when Luna resubbed, I did it from her account, so that's how I was able to do the 3 months.
Your account. And like, is there any particular platform? Well, I say platform. I mean, let's say take Twitch for example, right? Are you doing it on? Did you try on different devices or?
Well, yeah, because I've tried on my Android phone and I've tried on my iPad.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they don't have Twitch for my MacBook, so.
That's such a weird thing. So then, yeah, it must be an account thing then. That for whatever
Yeah.
reason they recognize your email or your username. Like, oh, this particular person. Nah, we're not letting them like subscribe for more than a certain amount and gift themselves a subscription, especially on Kick side. Like, but no, sorry, I just find that kind of stuff fascinating. Anyway, let me stop being greedy for 2 seconds and let's move on.
Oh, it's all good. We know you're the rich, popular streamer now. Gonna leave us all in the dust.
Yeah,
I like money.
I like
I like money. I actually am a greedy streamer.
Oh yeah, hey Atina, how's it going? And welcome back again, Ida. Thank you, Golden. I think
Probably one of the things that Luna doesn't realize, but kind of about me not streaming, is all the free stuff we used to get.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned before in the chat at one point that you used to get a load of free stuff.
Yeah, we would do, because I used to get a bunch of toys and products to try out, like the Sanrio food box. So we got one of those, a whole package of different Japanese sweets and some sweets from, oh, son of a gun, India, and then a whole bunch of different ramen noodles. No, definitely not. No lab. But yeah, and then, just other stuff. And then once it's gone, that's when she's like, oh, yeah, I remember when we used to. And it's like, yeah, that's because people would send it to us. So now the only thing I have is the phone, which I need to do another commercial for.
You need to do another commercial for a phone?
Yeah, we have, because of all the devices that we have, before, so you had 2020, the whole pandemic thing.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of sponsors that way because a lot of them were small businesses and they didn't make it through the pandemic. And that's basically when I said, okay, I can't, I'm just done anyway. And then in 2021, we had a huge forest fire up here, which knocked out most of my neighbors. I was raising guinea fowl and selling those, and that's how we would make our wintertime money, is because I would sell all the guinea fowl in the springtime. But because we had to pack up in case we needed to evacuate, I lost that whole season, and we just never recovered bird-wise. So now it's just, they're here for fun. It's no longer a business.
Yeah.
But I also needed to cut back because we were spending about $900 total probably for phone bills, because everybody had a tablet, computer, phone because schooling was all done online. We had hotspots, things like that. And it's like, okay, we need to cut back. So I started trying to look into it. And it's tough because of where we live. There's only one provider that'll work up here, and that's Verizon. It's the only one that'll work up here.
Ah, yeah.
So I was able to get in contact with a subset of Verizon. And as long as I do commercials every once in a while, I get $20 off each phone plan every month. So instead of paying, $30 a month, I'm only paying $10 a month.
It's nice anyway to get at least a little bit of a discount off. But as Zeno says there, actually, have you thought of like Starlink?
Have you looked into the price of Starlink? That is so expensive here.
Oh, is it actually?
Oh, what's really fun is I have a picture. I'll have to see if I can find it of the Starlink satellites going overhead our house every year. I think in August they go overhead, and I think I have a picture of them from last year.
I always thought they were a cheaper option, no? Or maybe I was looking at something else.
At least not for where I live. They're not a cheaper option.
Starlink prices.
Plus, you also have to remember, Zeno, I'm what's called off-grid. And what that means is I am not connected to any city power, city water, or city sewer. Everything power-wise, we have solar panels or generator. So I'm kind of limited on some things that we're able to do because of the power.
Yeah, I'd say it must be then just based on like maybe a country by country basis or where you live in a certain country. Because I looked it up here and it's giving me prices in euros, so it probably knows I live in Ireland. It's saying like residential best for household, key features, so unlimited data, fixed location, monthly service plans, so 35 a month or 50 euro a month for so wait, there's residential light, sorry, that's 35 a month, and then residential in general is just 50 a month, which even for me is like, I mean, we're only paying probably around 35, I believe it is. So like we wouldn't really need to change ourselves. And like I know I always say we're in the middle of nowhere, but like we still have links to like a town off in the distance, and like there is at least like where I live, I believe there's a good few providers, but I think if we did try to switch from the one we're on now, the rest of them are kind of just not as good. Like, depends how much you complain to them. Like,
so yeah, I'd have to get to be set up, because I can't just tie into something, because the closest pole is 20 plus miles away. And nobody has the money to do that. You have to do a satellite dish to be able to pick it up. And, so it's not one of their like free hookups. And it was going to be like $500 just to get the equipment. Yeah, and then I can't remember what they were going to charge monthly. So, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're very fortunate, Zeno.
Yeah. Easy access.
The thing I miss most about where we live is the lack of ethnic diversity in food. There is, because the closest restaurant, like I said, is an hour and a half away. So you can't just go, hey, let's go out and have dinner. We have like 20 Mexican restaurants, maybe 5 what you call American diners, 1 or 2 quote Italian places. One really is horrible. 1 new Indian restaurant, which is amazing, except they always get my order wrong. And there you go. That's and a couple of Japanese places, and that's it. No Filipino, no, Korean, no ramen shops.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, you still have to travel far for those as well, like, just to get to them, don't you, like?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's... So, like, I've already got a list started for when we go to TwitchCon and on our drive down to TwitchCon on where we can stop to eat in places that we like. So like a Korean barbecue place, a hot pot place, things like that.
Yeah, no.
So if Oyster's listening, he better not mess with our food list and just suck it up and deal with the tasty spices.
Me hearing spice as a white man is making me tremble. I'm like, oh, I can't handle the spices. I do want to though, but like, I am very white, as they might say. I'm a baby when it comes to spice stuff. But again, one day I'll get there where I'm very used to very seasoned and spiced dishes. I mean, you've probably seen a lot of British memes about British slop meals and stuff like that. And unironically, I would think in the back of my head, actually, that does look banging. That does look banging, to be fair. Like,
well, you'll get used to it. I mean, so my husband was very meat and potatoes, not very spicy type, fare, and I've slowly gotten him into. I think he's up to about a medium tolerance now, so he can actually have most of the things from the Indian food restaurant, and he can even have some sriracha in his and gochujang in his sauces. So you can get used to it if you try hard enough.
Yeah,
it's only taken 30 years to get his spice tolerance up.
Yeah, no, I know, especially in Ireland, in like Irish Chinese, there's a particular thing called a spice box or a spice bag. It depends. Well, I guess it depends what they put in. It's basically the same thing, but like everything is like lightly spiced, and it's usually pretty nice. And like sometimes it can be a bit hot for me, but I'll still eat it anyway because it's still like good food. Like, but then again, you also have to question like, is this really still Chinese at this point, or are we just like inventing some mishmash dish between different whatchamacallit nationalities? Like, still good though.
I had no choice because growing up with my dad, my stepmother, they liked spicy food. So we would go like to this place in Oakland that was a barbecue place, and it was family owned, and their barbecue was really good. But they never gave me a choice on which barbecue sauce. And so they would always get the really hot, which was the equivalent of real thick barbecue sauce with handfuls of red pepper flake in it.
Oh, geez,
and it would just burn your lips. So I had no choice. I just had to either not eat or learn how to deal with hot food.
Yeah, I mean, with not much choice, you do have to get used to it. But as like you can imagine yourself now, you're just like, I'm glad I got used to that and was like built up my spice tolerance like pretty well, like because of it. Like, and then obviously, like you're a foodie, just like Brandon. It just helped when you love a lot of food. Like, I don't mind like trying to have more food options myself. Like, if I can, when I go to somewhere new, like I won't always just get something that I know of, like let's say a chicken burger when I go to a new place or whatever. I sometimes will be like, I haven't tried this particular meat maybe once in a long time, or haven't tried it all. Let's give that a shot and see how it goes, and then just pray it's not bad or like actually prepared right. Like, but yeah,
even Luna is getting better on her food. I don't want to say tolerance because
being less picky with food.
Some people have like texture issues or taste issues, things like that. And so because she knows she wants to move to Japan and they don't make accommodations, she has been like forcing herself to kind of broaden her horizons a little bit and try new things. And she's found things that she likes now, and is willing to try and explore.
That's good, yeah. Now, like, like there is words. No, they're not coming to me. Never mind. They just took a fucking run out of my head. They're just gone. Yeah, sure. Look,
words are hard.
Let me move on. as I read here as well from Zeno. My father's very picky on restaurant food. He does not like anything dry. Fair enough, yeah.
Like
Actually, that
dry
reminded
meat?
me.
That would be gross.
What?
Dry meat? Yeah. I had a hamburger the other day, and I'm like, oh, this is not juicy and good.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you or anybody else know, but I had like a box of Jaffa cakes. They're like
Oh yeah.
you'd probably put them under the cookie category maybe or something like that. But basically,
Yep.
Sorry?
Yes, right. We know Jaffa cakes. We love the because you have the marmalade ones that are traditional, and then we had got some strawberry and some cherry ones, and I really liked the cherry. Oh, and raspberry, yes.
Yeah. No, at least in Ireland they only started to branch out with different flavors after decades of just being stuck on orange, like. So it was nice when I branched out to the other ones. But these particular ones I'm going to mention here, I bought them. Maybe it's because they were near the end of life. I think it was like next month or something they expired. But like they were the driest like Jaffa cakes I've ever had. Like usually like I like them quite a bit. That I probably would eat a few of them. But I think I had two on the first day I opened the box, and I was like, I'm gonna put the box back for today. I'm gonna come back to those another time when I'm ready to continue eating dryness. Like it was just,
you just have to dip them in your tea.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, actually, I don't even really drink much tea at home. I might have a cup like once in a while at work, but mainly a coffee guy. But even then, I don't. Would you really?
Or dip them in your coffee, dip them in your milk, whatever. Yeah,
true.
the last brand of Jaffa cakes we bought was drier than the first brand, so it could be a brand issue too.
Yeah, I think was it a Polish brand or something like that, or no, it wasn't Polish, was it? It was or Swedish. Not sure, I can't remember. Again, it might have just been the near expiry date or whatever it was. Maybe it just teaches me to keep looking at dates on foods before I buy them. Especially because I did buy what was it? I was in a gas station, as you might say, and what did I buy? Oh yeah, I actually bought like an American drink. It was a Skittles one. I could tell it was an American bottle because of the whatchamacallit. It was it had like cents on the back, but like not euro cents, but like dollar cent symbol on the back. Like I have to start this timer again.
Skittles one was like sweet and should have been used as like a snow cone topper. I bought the green one and the red one, and I could not. I gave them to my son.
I think it was the red one I had. Or was it purple? It was wildberry anyway. And the green one I believe is sour, so I didn't bother with that. I was like, you know what? I'm fine. I don't really need the sour one. I'll just, because I was only there to wait on my car to be looked at and fixed. So I was like, I'll just buy one thing just to try it. But I think I realized on the bottom of the bottle it was like, oh, expires like this month. I'm like, sure, look it. We'll go with it. And if I get sick, I get sick. Like, because it wasn't like a particular date in the month where it would expire. It was just, I think it literally just said like June 2025, and that's it. Like, it didn't give an exact date. Like, yeah, right. Let me actually start this timer before I'm getting tallied. Like, right, 3, 2, 1. Now, I can't say LIKE for the next 5 minutes. Bottom of the bottle was... Oh, I almost said it there as well. Jeez, he almost caught me out immediately. Right. So, Golden.
That would have been totally embarrassing.
Right. What is your definition of happiness?
Ducks?
Honestly, that's a fair answer.
Basically just, having what you need, friends maybe, someone to talk to maybe, being able to enjoy the hobbies that you like. But no, my ducks are happy. I think the seal will probably kick me later, but
Let's hope the seal does not kick you later.
Yeah, she says that seals are happiness.
Welcome back, Oyster. Hope you had a good trip, man.
Oh, he
LIKE,
missed the
you
trash talk.
almost. Sorry?
Oyster missed the trash talk then.
Mm-hmm.
What's my definition of all geese? Okay, so some of our geese, because we do have geese, the male goose or the daddy goose, he is a little bit violent. He is also a Canada goose because he has babies and he's very protective over his girls and his babies. So right now he is violent. But our Chai goose, who's a big buff goose, she's very sweet. She'll eat out of your hand and she'll make little goose noises. So it's a toss-up. I've seen more violent, but no, geese aren't my definition of violence.
Oh, you went next door, yeah, Oyster. I thought, did Oyster not go on a car ride? Just drive the car next door, like. Oh, nice.
Oh, I don't know. He's a truck driver, so I just assumed he was going back making a delivery.
When you read my violence. I don't think I did. Because I said LIKE.
You said
So.
like, you almost caught me when you read my violence. I don't remember that. I remember you saying you almost caught me.
We'll just tally it as one for now.
Oh, bottom of the bottle was like, okay, you must have read. Okay, got it. You read that. Okay.
Oh, but that was before the timer, I believe. Then I clicked the timer.
Yeah. And then you click the timer, and then you almost said like, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's keep her moving now. What are you hoping to accomplish in the next year?
Right now we're just working on getting my son to finish his 2-year degree and move to the 4-year college. So right now that's kind of been the focus. And then probably after TwitchCon, we've got to work on getting Luna into the cosmetology classes, because we can't do it before because she'll be gone like for majority of a term, so we've got to start doing that after. Other than that, usually it's just making it through winter because of where we live. Nobody plows, and so we always have to have accommodation for that, make sure we have enough firewood and feed for the animals and all of that. Because last winter, Luna and I were stuck in town for 2 weeks while my husband and my son were stuck at home for 2 weeks.
Jeez.
So it's mainly season by season. And making sure my son does okay. He made the dean's list for the second term in a row.
Good on
He's taking summer off, and then he's got 2 terms left before he transfers to the Technical Institute. And probably at that point, we'll be able to get Luna into cosmetology school, and then we'll just focus on getting them through school.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just do that right now. But words. Let me see if any of the words come back to my head. The best, like, as you were saying there, make sure to keep that was basically your year, and in a kind of review as of right now, like you're kind of looking at like what's upcoming. What I was gonna say as well. Like obviously, as you said there, especially in the winter time, like it just sounds like a rough where you live, like how you have to make sure stuff is already basically you have to do prep work before the seasons kind of come in and essentially just be ready, mainly for winter. Obviously, I'm assuming the other seasons aren't as bad, are they?
No, not at all. It's just winter and once the snow starts. Because we could
Yeah.
either have a very mild winter where we only get, a foot of snow, or like last winter when we got a storm and ended up with, up where we are, because it's considered high desert, so we don't get as much snow, but we got over 4 feet.
Jeez.
And, Luna's just a little tiny seal, so she wasn't able to walk to the house from where we parked the car.
Oh, dear.
So we were stuck in town for a little while until my husband could do a path for the 2 miles from the house to where we could park.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just not that
Yeah,
small.
she's just a tiny seal. Just a little tiny seal.
Little shield. No, you are. Like in Ireland, it's like obviously like very opposite for us. I know I complain about the rain and stuff, but like sometimes like I feel like we can. I mean, maybe in recent years we've actually gotten snow once a year, but back when I was younger, we definitely didn't have snow as often. Like we probably would only get snow like once every few years, and sometimes it wouldn't even be a lot. It like not even be well, it probably wouldn't even be like an inch or two off the ground. Like it'd just be kind of a very light blanket, and then that's really it. Like maybe the closest thing you can say to snow is that like it might sleet, but like even then, obviously with sleet, it kind of just instantly just disappears after it touches the ground. Like it's not like the good snow that actually sticks to the ground. Like you wouldn't really be going around making snow angels and actually maybe you could make snow angels, but like you wouldn't be able to make any snowmen or anything like that. Like.
Do you know offhand what your elevation is?
I remember. Well, I do remember off the top of my head. Ireland is described as a plate in geography because most of the mountains is like, on the out. Well, I say the outside. Like the middle of Ireland's very flat. But obviously not super flat. Like obviously still a bit hilly, but a lot of the mountains in Ireland are more around the actual. I want to say coastline, but like obviously not too close to coastline. Like maybe 50 to 75 kilometers from the coastline. I'll just look up.
Because I know my elevation here is 5,500 feet.
5,500 feet.
So we tend to, and because we're of where we are, we tend to get a bit of snow, and then you hope that the water it makes lasts through the summer, but it dried up pretty good. I would honestly rather have snow than rain, because if it's snowing, it usually means that it's also freezing.
Yeah.
Which means the ground can still be hard and I can still drive without complication, versus when it's raining, like we had a rainstorm the other day, it just makes slick, gross mud.
Oh, yeah. Like I know in particular Russia's meant to be very bad during those times. Like there was a YouTuber I was watching, No Fuckers. He used to live in Chelyabinsk, and like he'd always basically it was nearly a yearly thing for him to always talk about it. That like the roads are usually very bad. It's very basically slushy and muddy mixed with snow, and just very bad overall. And good night, Zeno. Sorry, man. Have a good sleep. But yeah, sorry. What were you saying? Sorry.
Nice talking to you, Zeno. Have a good night.
Yeah. What elevation did you say you were again?
5,500 feet.
5,500.
Yeah.
For
5,500.
For me, it's around 200 to 400 feet.
Really? Okay,
level,
so that would explain why you don't get any. Even though you're so north, that explains why you don't get any snow.
Yeah. Just reading this. Not going to read it out loud.
That would be above sea level, Oyster. 5,500 feet above sea level.
Yeah. They'd be both above sea level. God, yeah, that's mad to think about, like, the difference in that, like, because I think, see, in this, no, this is AI-generated answer, I'm being lazy again, But like it's saying here as well, the highest point in certain thing is this spot, and it's 846 feet above sea level, which is basically nothing compared to where you live. Like, so yeah, we're very.
I remember I went to New Orleans one year, way back during Hurricane Andrew, and we went to the zoo, and we went to the quote highest place in New Orleans, and it was just this little tiny hill that was like 1 foot, and I'm like, really? And it just happened to be just a little bit above sea level, so it was like the highest place in New Orleans.
Damn, yeah. I know. Where was the highest spot? It was in New Hampshire, I think. Hampshire. Mount Washington, that's what it was called. Mount Washington. I went there when I was over in America. Trying to remember what elevation that was. Elevation. But literally, like, I remember we were with a mate and we were being driven up that hill, and like it was kind of mad because like we were going at such an incline that you could actually feel your ears pop as you went up it. Like,
yeah, we have that whenever Luna and I are going into town to go to work and coming back, we have to go over a pass, and your ears clog up and pop.
That sounds like our highest point where I live. And hey, Justin, how's it going, man? Welcome. Like, it's funny because I remember we were there. This is when Brando went over with me as well. All the other tourists and Americans were all like properly in jackets and stuff. Now, obviously, this was in summer as well, but even then, it was still freezing cold and wind blowing. But then there's just me and I actually am wearing. Wait, am I? Oh no, I'm not wearing the same shorts. But I have like I was wearing basically just a vest and like blue shorts. And people must have been looking at me, being like, "How the fuck is he not freezing his balls off? Like, is he all right? Like, does he need like a jacket or something?" Like, I did buy as a souvenir, like I think it was like a can warmer or something like that. Like basically something you just put on a little beer can or just a can in general or a bottle. I just had I was wearing it on a hand like a glove, like. But I must have looked mad because I was wearing that fit with sunglasses. Yeah. What? Sorry.
They're called beer cozies. Cozies.
That's it. Yeah.
Your soda or your beer cool, so that your hand doesn't warm it up.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, people usually look at us a little goofy. Well, usually my son and I, because we're the ones who will go outside in the snow wearing our shorts or t-shirt, or occasionally just barefoot.
Barefoot.
And
okay, wait. I kind of understood the rest of it. Wait, I understood the rest of it because in Ireland, like, I'll admit, sometimes I'll go out for a walk in my shorts and like rain jacket, but barefoot. Hold on, we need to reverse here for a minute. Is there a reason why you wouldn't want to wear shoes?
I don't like the way shoes feel all the time. It's a some people don't like tags on their shirts. I don't like the way my feet feel cramped inside shoes. So if I can get away around the house without wearing shoes, then I will. I mean, obviously, when you're in town and all of that, you have to wear something. I prefer sandals or something loose fitting, but for a girl, I've got pretty wide feet. So I like my toes to be able to wiggle.
I agree with points. Okay.
I mean, I don't go barefoot out in public.
That's fair enough as well, yeah. Unless obviously you're out at the beach, then that's a different story. But this is just within the town and in the snow.
Yeah. But this morning, Luna was yelling at me because I went out to the car to get something, and give the ducks and the babies some water, and I was barefoot.
I mean, to be fair, it must feel nice though, especially if you do get to walk on some grass, like, and your feet are just in direct contact with it.
I'm high desert. There's no grass.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's just dirt.
Yeah, no sandals. I guess. See, I understand with like especially with shoes the way they're made, like sometimes they can be very constricting, especially like if they're not. Like I know when I buy shoes and if they're laced, like I will pull out the lace completely and then put my foot in, resize the shoe for myself, and then put back in the lace and slowly do the shoe back up until it's a more comfortable size for my own feet. But like if I know shoes aren't going to fit me and they're just too tight on my feet, like yeah, like I understand in that sense why you wouldn't want to wear shoes when you feel like you're just wearing them for the sake of keeping your feet hidden rather than comfort. Because like if you want to be comfortable, just wear your sandals or be barefoot in that sense. Like
Yeah, definitely.
Luna won't like me as I don't wear shoes to go outside ever. In the UK as well. Do you not, Oyster? Because like I'd imagine, because of course like UK and Irish weather is like very similar, like except obviously if you go south of whatchamacallit, England, it is a bit different than what south of Ireland would be like. Because I mean, my friend was just in London again there recently, and like he was saying it was boiling hot, like probably around 30 degrees Celsius, so that's like 100 and something Fahrenheit, I believe, if I remember my conversions right. Actually, Joe, you have Google at the side of you. Hold on.
I was going to say, I think you're a little high. I don't think 30 is 100.
Oh no, yeah, sorry, never mind. 86 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
My calculation was wrong. I should just look it up and be quiet. Like, we had rain on Wednesday. I mean, to be fair, if the rain's already evaporated by then, because I mean, I'm looking outside now. It's nice and bright, like, so it's probably, hopefully, mostly gone. Because I wouldn't imagine to be walking around barefoot in the rain, like. But again, is there any harm in it? I don't know.
Maybe because let's see, Monday and Tuesday we had a thunderstorms at night, but it just made it so humid, and the ground was still so hot that you could walk outside still and be okay. And now today, finally, it's 80. Well, okay, you're 30 degrees Celsius outside, so it's nice. A little less humid because most of the rain has dried out. And then this weekend, it's going to drop all the way down to 60. And then next week, go back up to 90 degrees.
Yeah, that's around 15 Celsius, 15.5.
Yeah, it's really weird. Oregon is very bipolar in its weather.
Yeah. Sorry, I was seeing there as well, Luna saying, put your grippers away. I feel like I've heard somewhere in the show, like they just said it like that before. It dropped the temperature down to 17 degrees Celsius. Let me just keep doing all the live conversions. That's 62.6 Fahrenheit, 17 degrees Celsius. I mean, it's not too bad. Oh, Jesus, from 30 though. Fucking hell. That's basically nearly like half the temperature just gone within what time frame now? So that was rain on Wednesday, and it said dropped from 30. Again, quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's what ours did on Monday, our thunderstorm, because it was very windy also. Because I had gone to work wearing shorts and a tank top, and it was 98 degrees. And then the thunderstorm started about 6, 7 o'clock, along with the wind. And by the time we were off work at 8, I regretted wearing a tank top. Because it had dropped all the way down to about 50 degrees or so.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I am surprised we had rain. Right. Sorry, just make sure I catch up with everything. Where were we again? Oh yeah, so here. To be fair, some of these kind of do tie back into each other. I don't know if I've probably said that before in other podcast episodes. But the next question I have for you, Golden, is what's something you're passionate about? If I haven't already just read that
out. It really depends on what my fixation is at the time.
Yeah.
Because for a while it was art and drawing and coloring. Animals are always, I can't say no. I am a sucker. I have a huge sign that I apparently have on my forehead that says, "Give me hurt, injured, disabled animals. I will take them always."
Oh, yeah.
So animals are a passion. Seeing my kids succeed, that's one of my fixations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that about gets it all.
Yeah, no, that reminds me. I need to get Fred out of that room and have him put him in school soon. He's been sitting in my mom's room too long.
Yeah, you probably should. Poor kid. I mean, unless you watch his TV in there, he's not getting any punishment.
Yeah, I don't think he's on like radio speakers right now in my mom's room, but I don't think they've been used for a while. Actually, I don't think so. I haven't heard the music playing from the room in a while. Anyway.
They have done studies about neglecting children, and it links to failure to thrive. So yeah, you better give the poor kid some love before you do irreversible damage.
Yeah.
Words are
let me get them actually. I'll be back in a second. I feel guilty now.
Oh, we guilted him. Oyster neglected? Wait, when did I say that?
Hey, Fred. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Don't know if anybody can hear anything coming through that mic. There you go. He's rubbing his face on the mic because he doesn't know how to talk.
Oh, poor Fred.
Yeah, no, he's still as squishy as ever. I'm just giving him a few pats down just in case he's a bit dusty.
Yeah, dust him off.
As you would with your children, you know that.
Oh yeah, I give my children a pats on the head all the time to dust them off.
Yeah. There we go. Now, Fred, would you like to sit here with us? Yeah. I am a good father. I'm taking care of him, I swear. I definitely didn't just pull him out now just because we were talking about him.
Well, at least he has a grandma to watch after him.
Exactly, yeah. Was I be busy doing my online internet show, as some people might say. There we go. Right. And the last question we have here from the standard question list is, what's your favorite drink? And of course, that could be any form of drink. Doesn't have to just be fizzy or alcoholic, whichever.
Shoot. I don't want to give people a complex, but I enjoy various teas. Chai tea, black tea, green tea.
Let's just hear chai tea in the background. Doesn't that actually just mean tea?
Tea. Chai means tea, that's right.
Yeah.
I like the tea. Because I grew up with my grandmother and that's what she drank. Nobody in that household drank coffee.
Yeah.
Nobody said titty. Oh my lab.
Does someone say titty? No, we're saying TT lab.
Yes.
Yorkshire tea.
I didn't start drinking coffee until in my 20s. And even now, I'll only basically drink it if something new comes out, like one of the local shops has some new combination or something, then I'll try that, or drink socially. Alcoholic-wise, really don't drink too much alcohol. Occasionally, I'll bring something home that we start selling. So in our state, alcohol is, and liquor stores are kind of like state, what do you call it? Where they kind of have control over what can be sold. So I work at a convenience store or gas station. We're only allowed to sell beer and wine. We can't sell any hard alcohol. But sometimes we get weird stuff, like a weird beer or a weird cider. And so I'll bring home a can of that, and then we'll split it to see how it tastes and try it out. Yeah, regulated.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's the word that left my mind. But other than that, I do like red wine because it's what I grew up on. I do like dark beers, like, Guinness, things like that.
Highest stouts,
yeah. Yeah. They're good for cooking with, too. They add some good flavor. Same with red wines. Yeah, I think that's about it. Soda, I could take it or leave it. That's more of a convenience drink because that's what mostly is easy. I don't mind trying some of the energy drinks just because we sell a lot of them, and it's nice to be able to tell people kind of what they taste like.
Yeah.
I do not like Red Bull. It has a weird tang at the end of it that reminds me of like Miracle Whip or bad food. So I don't like that.
I can agree actually with that. At least for a default Red Bull.
Yeah. Yeah, because some of the flavored ones don't have that tang, but they have a weird dryness at the end that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't mind some of the rock stars, but I was never a big energy fan. I remember saying once to you when you were talking about gambling. So one of the jobs I had way back was I was a bill collector for people who defaulted on their student loans. So I got to track them down. And as incentive, they would give us like lottery tickets. But they would also give us Monster energy drinks, like the coffee drinks. And I just had like a pyramid of them on my desk because I didn't like them. And I would just give them away. And they used to get mad at me because those things didn't motivate me. They're like, oh no, you got to drink it. You got to try it. You got to scratch this. And I'm like, can I just make my phone calls? But yeah, I am a tea person. I do like tea.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we just bought a bunch of matcha and chai tea yesterday at the store.
Yeah. God no, that's oh sorry, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, and our new thing is we've discovered that oat milk actually tastes pretty good. So we've been using oat milk instead of just regular whole milk in our tea.
Oh yeah, they do say that I think by a certain age, like everybody, I mean, if you don't have milk after a certain while, I think you get more. This might be just false information or whatever, but I swear someone was saying before that you're not actually really meant to be having much milk after a certain age because, I mean, it's more so just drilled into us because, I mean, milk is just readily available and it's in so much products. But it is better to have like oat milk and soy milk and those kind of alternatives. I know Brando drinks, well, he doesn't have to, but it's easier for him to have oat milk because he is actually like lactose. I say he is lactose, but he will full on like go and buy a big ice cream and eat the whole thing knowing he's going to have troubles afterwards. Oh
yeah. That's the trouble with people who are lactose intolerant. It's not like a peanut allergy where it's like, I can't touch that. People who are lactose intolerant, they're like, I shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway.
Exactly.
But scientifically, I think when I went to school, it was taught to us that 90% of the population is actually lactose intolerant after a certain age. And we used to say that also because that includes cats. Because people are like, oh, give cats a glass of milk or, a saucer of milk or whatever. And it's like, well, most cats actually are lactose intolerant.
I should know that about
and it'll
cats.
probably. But yeah, that's one thing I remember they were teaching us in school was that 90% of the population is lactose intolerant.
Yeah. Now, like, I say that, like, about that and not actually following it because I still have normal milk, regular milk or low-fat milk with my coffee. And maybe that's why, like, at a specific time when I've had my coffee a few hours later, I will need to do a number 2. Maybe that's the reason why. Because I don't really drink milk otherwise, but...
It's actually the coffee. The coffee's a stimulant in that direction.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can't blame the milk for that. But yeah, no, I like yesterday I had a nice, jug of whole milk, and I will never say no to ice cream.
Yeah. I don't know why I was laughing internally at the fact that Justin was saying hi Luna Mom. As if like he didn't see your name already on stream. Just particular hi Luna Mom. It's like it's like
Lobster missed the name reveal, so he'll just have to deal with it.
Oh yeah. he doesn't know your actual name, so it's just
No.
So we're that. It's only the mother we're interviewing today. But I'm even saying different names now. What was your name again?
Actually, he and my son went into town because my husband has to have blood work done for a doctor's visit that he has next week.
Ah, okay.
Oh, happy birthday, Lobster!
Yeah, I was gonna say as well, man. Happy birthday. Hope you're what time is it? Yeah, so you're probably just starting really your birthday celebrations today. Like, happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh, you need like the sound effect that goes like happy, 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 dun 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 dun. Too busy adding fucking yeah.
Since everybody else is so young, what are you, 12? Oh, wait. Can't joke about that. Are you 18?
Oh, yeah. I only caught on there after the fact. No, he's definitely not. Don't worry. We're all good. But he's under parental supervision, we'll just say. That's a thing you can do to skirt around it. Like.
No, I cannot supervise everybody.
24, yeah, so you're just a year younger than me, man. So we're actually... Yeah, no, well, I was trying to think now.
Not even a year, just... Yeah, oh yeah, a year and a couple of months, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, a year and a month, because it's July now. Oh yeah, so, yeah, basically just be a year and a month. In the difference. Old man. I'm not that old, Luna. Yeah, right. Luna, everyone is old to you. I guess we can all then say that Luna is short to everyone, right? Beep, beep,
yeah.
beep, 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 beep. I used the duck one way. I meant the Vine Boom. But yeah, that's the end of the standard questions that we have for you today, Golden. So I'm going to go into the Discord now and start asking you some of the questions that have been left in the Discord, obviously now for weeks, because it was meant to be last week, and again I do apologize, but we are here now, so we can actually finally ask all the questions and we can go from there. Golden, why aren't you a golden duck? Well, better question, why aren't you a golden phoenix? It's like Brando's episode all over again. He's Brando Bear, but he's a lemon man.
Yeah. No, so GoldenEagle was always my gamer tag. So way back in the 90s, there used to be this place I'd go to called Virtual World, and it was a virtual reality place. And they had these really cool pods. And so each person would get their own pod, and you'd climb in. And the game that I played was called Red Planet. And I was on League for Red Planet. And basically you chose your spacecraft, and you could unlock different levels. So you could either do beginner, where the pod was locked in place, or you could do more advanced, where the pod was unlocked and you could actually swoop side, front, back, like flying a plane. And you would go against, I think it was up to 8 people. But then when we did League nights, we were actually like with other places in the other parts of the country going against them. And you basically would be playing Capture the Flag, just in spaceships. And so it was called Red Planet, and it was at Virtual World. The other game they used to have was, I think it was called Oh shoot, my brain doesn't work because I didn't like it as much. You basically would have this like Gundam type character that you were inside and piloting, and you'd run around and shoot the other people on the map. So like what, a
Yeah.
cross of Call of Duty and something. I can't remember. But anyhow, so I needed a tag for League, and so I had chosen GoldenEagle. And so that just basically followed any time I did a League for something. So when we did laser tag, that was my tag for League and laser tag. Anytime I signed up for a game at the arcade and it would save, that would be the one I would use. So GoldenEagle just stuck. It came from a game, like a pretend game that my cousin and I used to play as little kids. And I just never changed it. And then I'm a duck because ducks are cool. And have you ever tried to do painting with gold on digital? It would have just been a yellow duck.
Yeah, just a yellow duck with a little bit of a shine on it, like. It is hard though. I know when I was younger, trying to design, what was it, Golden Flyer. Like, I always colored them in yellow. I never actually really colored them in gold, like, because I just didn't know how to when I was younger, like.
That's kind of why I prefer like coloring IRL, because digital, like what Luna does, that's just hard, and I can't get the shadows where I want them, and yeah.
Yeah. Oof. What was I gonna say?
So what did I like about the 90s? Well, let's see. I graduated in 93. So Virtual World, oh, I can't even tell you how many speeding tickets I got on the way home after playing Red Planet. Because, you know, you're flying in a jet in space, so you get in your car and you're flying in a jet in space. I think by the third time the stater pulled me over, he said, "Were you at the..." And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Will you knock it off and slow down?" So I made a conscious effort to drive slower each time I left.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to watch cell phones become more popular, watch the technology change on that, because I grew up with computers. My parents were both computer scientists for the government, so we always had computers. I was the only person in school to have a computer up until high school.
Jeez, yeah.
And then, you know, so my first, quote, computer was my Atari, was it Atari 1200X or something? And so I used to write DOS programs on that. And I missed some of those video games too. Those were so cool. But it was kind of cool watching things kind of change and evolve and finally catch up to things that I had actually learned how to do years before. It was cool. We used to go to I used to call them nerd conventions, but it was called SIGGRAPH. And you'd get to see all the new technology before it came out. So before virtual reality became a thing, I got to do virtual reality. I flew a pterodactyl. I did hang gliding through New York City.
Oh, that's really cool.
All sorts of cool fun stuff. I got to see basically talking from computer to computer or voice video chat before that ever became a concept in the real world. Did they work at Black? No. My dad worked for Lawrence Livermore Lab. And it used to be a joke because of what he worked on, but the joke was always the vault that he walks by. Is there enough uranium for one bomb or 100 bombs? And then my stepmother worked down in San Jose at the military station there, and she wrote programs for satellites, various satellites that she could not talk about.
God, yeah.
So
That's
until
really
they
cool.
closed up, and then she was basically forced to retire.
Because what was I thinking? I was jokingly thinking in the back of my head. I was like, "Wait, did the FBI? Are you just like an FBI what's the word, like informant or something? Are you just undercover? Is the FBI onto me? Have they put the
No,
FBI
no.
into here? Are they trying to spy on the Irish? Is this what it is?
So I will tell you, because I did not go into computers, computer programming, all of that, I am considered the black sheep of the family because I went into animal science. And I was a vet tech for like 15 years. So, yeah, no, I'm not part of the FBI. No spying.
They've just heard that and they're like, oh, never mind. Sorry, that's not one of our agents here. We'll move on to the next stream.
That's it. I think the closest I got to working computers or whatever is when I worked for GoPro for a couple years.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, actually. Because I do
But
see...
but I definitely learned you don't tell people you can do stuff unless you want to start doing it for them for free. Because then all of a sudden you have all these people who want to be your friend because you supposedly know how to do something.
yeah.
Never saw Prince, never met Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Right. Shall we move into the Discord questions?
Sure.
Right, first one we have here is from Lobster saying, does your husband play video games?
So he liked Diablo, and he and I used to play that together. And at the time, it was on PC, so we'd play two different computers. Back when I used to have a huge computer setup. Now he tends to stick with COD Mobile and Golf Clash. He did on the 360. He would play a lot of the Black Ops.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, and he would play, the Skylanders or, whatever we had going. So yeah, he does play. I know, Diablo is the best. I just want to get the old ones. I wish they would put the old ones on Steam.
Yeah, because they're still tied to the Blizzard launcher, aren't they? Or are they just not available?
Oh, no, I can still get them. I probably need to get a new PC set up because, Luna wants to stream things. But yeah, I just don't have a PC to be able to play them on right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved the cow level. That was hilarious. Can we be friends? Aren't we already friends?
I guess not from that connotation, no. I'd assume no.
Diablo 2 the remastered. Oh, yes. Yeah, like I said, the only one I don't like is Diablo 4, which I own. Our internet, unless I go someplace, like if we're going out of town or something to celebrate somebody's birthday and we take the Xbox with us, our internet's so spotty I can't play it because it's online only.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I hate about games now is most of them you have to be online in order to play, and it's just plain stupid.
And that actually segues right in a good moment. Mentioning one of that news points about stop killing video games. It really does though, because genuinely that's what stop killing games. That's a part of their initiative to try and stop that kind of shit from happening. Because I mean, if you can play a game like offline before, then why can't you now? Because I'm assuming as well with Diablo 4, like there's not really much excuse for them to have it just be what am I saying? There's basically like not a lot of excuse for them to always be online, other than maybe just tracking like what like you're doing, I guess, and just giving you an excuse to stay online all the time to collect data on you or whatever.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because I can see other players like doing their own thing across the map, and I'm not interacting with any of them. We're not playing together. It's just there's people there.
Yeah, and like it's strange because it's like especially like with a franchise like Diablo as well. There's 4 games in this, and there's also Immortal on the phone as well, but I don't think many people talk about that one.
Oh yeah, no, I do have Diablo Immortal on the phone on my iPad. I've even streamed it a couple of times.
It's not the same though, is it? As opposed to the. Uh,
It's close. I mean, for a mobile game, it's pretty close.
yeah.
I think it's more similar to Diablo 3, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, sorry, just to reel back into that point. So, like, the previous 3 at least, like, I'm assuming they had offline play. So then you ask the question of, like, then why can't the 4th one be online? Or, like, why can't I play this offline? Especially, well, I mean, actually, since it's a Blizzard game, they might use the excuse of, oh, did you not read the EULA? Technically, all the games we sell on PC are just licenses. I think Steam do that as well now. So technically, you don't actually own it, and then once we end the service, you technically aren't owed anything back, which is really shitty. But I'm actually happy to announce. Sorry, Golden, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, that's part of why I wasn't going to get the new Twitch. The new Switch, because of the whole, well, technically you don't own the Switch and we can just turn you off at any time. And I'm like,
oh,
no, you guys are just getting too money hungry and controlling.
Brazil consumer right activists are actually suing them for that, for breaking people's consoles. So I am praying that they win that, because I hate shitty business practices like that as well, obviously. That's why I'm going to talk about Stop Killing Games. And then obviously because, well, in the EU specifically, like, the reason why Apple have the USB-C charging ports as well is because the EU kind of forced their hand to make it. And I think as well with iPhones, you can actually download, like, third-party stuff onto it finally after all this time. But the only issue is, though, it's only for iPhones in the EU. So you can download, like, maybe the Google Play Store or the Samsung Store or whatever. But I think if you try and use your iPhone elsewhere outside of the EU, you're still locked to just the, like, Apple Store and stuff like that. Which I find still pretty scummy on them to actually do that in the first place, like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because for my tablet, I can't access the Google Store. I have to go... It just bumps me right to Apple.
Yeah, no, yeah. So my theory is right on that. Or not theory, but what I've heard before is right then. But yeah, just to tie it back round to the Stop Killing Games for a minute. Sorry if it feels like I keep peddling this back in, but it is something that will just benefit everyone at the end of it. Like, I don't really see a downside of it. But they did actually hit over 1 million signatures within the EU. Now, hopefully, a lot of them are actually proper signatures, because if they're not, then they'll invalidate a lot of them. But it's in... I just realized this now. It's in something called Overdrive. So there's actually 4 new goals added to it. So if people keep signing it on up until the 30th of July, extra signatures can basically be added in. And I think they definitely need this because, as I just said there, a lot of signatures could be invalidated. And if they are, at least if it goes over 1 million, then they'll still be counted. So it's on 1,026,000, sorry. Which is brilliant, because it was meant to be 1 million, their goal. And yeah, I'm just happy to see it that it's actually taken that time. Well, again, we won't go into the drama side and why it took that long to get there. All I can say is just it's really happy to see something like that happening. I'm just going to look up actually real quick, because I think there was a UK version of it as well. UK regulations petitions. I can't remember the name of the website. UK Parliament, that's it. Yeah, this is the website. Now, obviously, again, as I keep specifying to people that join the streams and say, am I from the UK? Ireland is not in the UK. Irish people aren't UK citizens. All right. But if I was in the UK, I'd also sign this one as well. Because I believe, let me just look it up. Because there was a UK version of it, but that was only like 100k, I think. Video games. There we go. Prohibit publishers irrevocably I don't think I pronounced that right. Disabling video games they have already sold. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's on 137,000. Okay, and this is a live one as well. 137,799 signatures, which is also really good as well. Hey, sorry, right, we can drop off the topic for now. I just thought, like, it's just a nice thing to mention that it's happening, because it's just good for not just gamers. As other people have said, it's also good for consumers' rights in general, so that no other company in any other industry can say, oh, well, we're selling, like, even, let's say Nintendo weren't selling a game console and they were just selling a tablet-like device, and they were still bricking people for the thing, then they obviously wouldn't be able to do something like that, because, I mean, you're selling a product, you can't just end a service like that. It will have ripple effects and everything else, and obviously law around the world. But yeah. Are you EU then? I am, yeah. I can sing, but I just choose not to sing right now. Joe's Irish, they are EU, also UK still get the latest EU rules. Weird. Yeah, UK is in a weird spot, isn't it? Joe's protecting the gamers, trying to protect the gamers, yeah. And that's why I will keep pushing the initiative myself a little bit. I'll probably mention it a bit more later, but anyway. Do you want to add anything else, Golden, or have I taken too much of the limelight?
Oh, no, I think that's perfect. Yeah, I think that's an awesome initiative. I don't think companies should have a right. If I'm spending $500 for a piece of equipment, I don't think they have the right to go, oh, guess what? You don't get to use it anymore, but thanks for your money.
Yeah, especially with games, it's just so bad. Like,
yeah,
Ubisoft and the Crew is where it really started, because that is literally, like, by essence, like, there was a single player part of it, but it was always online, and then they just took the license from everyone. So yeah, you guys talked about stop killing games. We are, yeah, Lab. There's over 1 million signatures, in case you know of it, Lab, and the UK version of it is over 137k or something like that. I was saying there, so it's on good tracks. So yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah, Lab, you're in the EU, right? So you can sign that. Thanks, man.
Good job, Lab.
I'm assuming. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, I just said good job. Thank you, Lab.
Yeah. We need to stick it up to the companies, because I think actually it was a funny thing. I think Ubisoft were the people that actually came out recently, and they started talking about making like an offline mode for the new Crew games. So like the people who started this whole initiative push in the first place are also the same people that are trying to also advocate for the stop killing video games as well. But I guess they kind of have to try and save face. But anyway, sorry, look, we leave it there. Of course, support the initiatives wherever it is, the UK one or EU. But we will move on now to the next Discord question, which is, would you be okay with a short description of the family members? That is from Lab. But if you're not alright, that's okay. We can always just move on from it. And I also didn't tell you as well, if you want to take a break as well, go ahead.
Well, there's four of us in the immediate household. There is myself. I am 50. Done a fair number of things throughout my years. There is my husband, and technically I say that just because it's easier. He and I have been together since I was 20, so 30 years. But we're not actually married. We've never been married. He is a retired firefighter. When I met him, he had just recovered from a broken back that he received on duty and was getting ready to have back surgery. And then I have my son, and he's 20 and going to the community college. He's got 2 more terms there, and then he's going to transfer to the technical institute after that and hopefully get a degree in environmental science and then find something he likes, I hope. And so he's not here, so I can share a funny story, right? He is transferring to the technical college, and they do have dorms. And I figured any 20, 21-year-old young man would like to move away from home and not be under their mother's thumb, you know? And so I told him, I go, well, you have the opportunity. You can go live in the dorms. Plus, it's in town, so you would have consistent internet. You'd be able to go to the grocery store whenever you want. There's some restaurants right there. You could go eat whenever you want. They have the cafeterias. And he looked at me and with fear, he's like, don't make me do that. And I'm like, I'm not making you do that. And matter of fact, he almost didn't want to transfer because he was afraid I was trying to kick him out of the house. So I don't know if that's sweet or funny. And then and then I have Luna, and and she's pointing at me evilly and menacingly, not wanting me to give any embarrassing stories. She is very creative, different than her brother. Her brother is very scientific minded and loves science and computers and games and things like that. They're both spectrum, but different areas. And she's very artistic, not good with numbers, but that's okay. She doesn't need to be. And, she has her own dreams and plans, and I just want to get her to that. So, but before I met my quote unquote husband, he had been legitimately married a few times before. So my children do have 5 other half siblings. They have the oldest one from my husband's first marriage, because he got married like right out of high school, and he lives somewhere in Texas and is somewhere in his 40s. My husband is 15 years older than me. And then the second wife he's got 2 girls. I'm sorry. Nope. Second wife was a girl and a boy. So they have an older sister and an older brother. And then the third wife is 2. And then I usually joke because one of those 2, her name is Amanda. And whenever anybody asks me who my favorite child is, I'll say Amanda. She went to college and is really smart, really sweet, always treated the Luna and her brother with love and care, and she'll come up and visit us. So I always joke that she's my favorite child. And I think that's basically the family. So hopefully that answers Lab's question.
Yeah, I guess if I was to share real quick myself, like, pretty simple, like, me, my brother, and my mom here at home. My dad did have a previous marriage and wife, but we actually didn't know until he passed. It was only because certain information was looked for him, and then we had to do it anyway. It was off, whatchamacallit. So out there, I think it's just one, and I think I basically have like a half brother out there somewhere. I'm assuming somewhere in the UK, and they probably have to be around. I think we were saying at the time they have to be like around like maybe like 40 or something like that, in their 40s, which is a weird concept for me to think of because me and my brother are pretty close in age, like 2 years apart. I don't think anybody else really comes close to that, especially if I just think about my mom's side of the family and stuff like that as well. But yeah, when it comes to family where they live, it's essentially just mom's side, mainly just here in Ireland, and then my dad's side is like, family worldwide, just like here, somewhere in the UK and somewhere in Australia, somewhere probably in America, probably I think somewhere in France as well. They're all over the place. Don't know a lot of them. But yeah, facts lab.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I think for like extended family, most are either California or states that are nearby. But you were talking about age. Age is goofy because my son, and who goes by Rockin' Reno because his name is Reno. My son, his nephew, they're 4 months apart. So my son is 4 months older than his nephew. And then for my husband, his younger brother, his oldest daughter, and his nephew are all the same age. So that's always a little weird. Yeah, his youngest brother, his oldest daughter, and his nephew are all the same age for my husband.
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing to wrap your head around, but then again, that's how like family trees can just be sometimes. They just branch out in those particular ways and then lead to that situation where a lot of people that you wouldn't really think are the same age are actually the same age and all that, like.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on to the next one. What's your typical everyday routine? I feel like, do we ask this one already? I feel like we've asked a variant of this question. Or maybe I'm already just losing the plot.
It depends on the day. If it's a day that I have to go to work, then it's a matter of getting up, feeding the animals, making sure everybody has water, and then heading off into town to go to work. If it's an all-day work day, like Saturday or Sunday, then it's straight to work, and then I'm there for 10, 11 hours, and then home, and that's it. If it's a day like Monday or Tuesday, and every other Wednesday where I don't have to work till 2, then Luna usually comes with me, and we'll hit up certain shops before we head into work, and then we'll go to work, and then we'll grab a snack and head home at the end of the day. Usually on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we live so far away, we don't get home till about midnight. And then Saturday and Sunday, I tend to get home about 9 o'clock because we get off at 7. If I don't have to go to work, then I get up, feed the animals, make sure everybody has water, maybe do a few little chores around, but basically just try to recover and do whatever needs to be done. Make dinner, maybe play games. I don't have as much time to play games as I used to.
Yeah.
But, yep, that's that.
Yeah, no, you have it very, you're like always doing something most of the time, and even when you're not, like as you said there, you just have to recover with those days, like, to recharge yourself.
Yeah, facts.
Right. Next question. Do you think Joe actually has no face IRL and that's why he's a VTuber? All from Lab, by the way, still.
Okay, so when you say that, I don't know how many people watch or used to watch Twilight Zone, but way back in one of the black and white episodes, this guy ended up in this house where people were like cursed. And one of the people that was cursed was because, I don't know if they talked too much or something, but when they turned around, they had like nothing below the eyes. And that's what I think of with that question.
Right, Twilight Zone. And then they just have eyes, so...
Yeah, it was just eyes. Yeah, they had no mouth. So they couldn't talk, they couldn't eat, and it was kind of creepy.
With just eyes, let's see.
It's a really old episode, because it was black and white.
Okay, I just maybe need to just eyes, so no mouth and no nose. Probably not this one.
And I know they've done some variants of it in recent horror movies, where basically the mouth is just skin. There's nothing there.
I remember what movie it was. Well, I think it was when Fox used to own Deadpool and X-Men and all that. They did.
Oh, that's right. They did do that in Deadpool when he first showed up in the jail or something. He had like no mouth. And then they ended up 86ing that version in later.
That is actually kind of funny to think about. When I know like more of Deadpool nowadays, obviously he likes to talk and be whippy and all that, and then thinking about him back then, like I think literally the joke in that scene was like they had to sew his mouth shut because he wouldn't stop talking. Like,
yeah.
God, yeah. No, I'm seeing that image now, and it reminds me back then. Like, right. On to the next question. We're taking a break from Lab's question and we're moving on to Brando's question. So what's your thoughts on Baldy Joe? Very clearly not bald, obviously.
Well, I think the little emotes are cute bald. And I always tease about it would be awesome to just shave my head and just wear wigs when I want to, because hair is annoying. It gets in my face, it gets tangled, I don't like it, the wind blows. So, bald Joe, that would be cool.
Maybe not yet. I know was a Brandon did actually point out. I think I did. I must have raised my hairline up or something like that. And he was telling me, like, you have to cut that at some point. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll hold on to it for now. Maybe I am in that stage of being in denial at this point. But sure, look, we'll see how the next year treats me hair-wise. Like, I think it's...
Yeah,
he
was joking about your receding hairline.
Yeah. But, like, now that I feel it, like... It is. I hate to admit it, but it is kind of a widow's peak underneath there. Maybe I'll just leave the hair longer. As long as my hair keeps growing, then I'll allow it for now. Like, as long as it doesn't look weird. But when it's like when it starts to look like desperate, like or bald or whatever, or just the hair's just start getting wispy, I probably would at that point be like, nah, here, look, we'll just get rid of it. So have to at that point, like.
So then I picture either my grandpa, who basically was kind of bald on one side, so he had a comb over, or, that orange tinted president we have with his weird kind of comb over look. Yeah, maybe better to shave at that point.
It's the best toupee I've ever bought myself. It's the best. It's not glued on. It's just the best. It just sits there and sits nicely. I don't really do a good impression of the Oompa Loompa, as my dad used to call him.
Actually, that's a pretty good impression.
Thank you. Maybe it's the mics, over Discord, it's compressing it, making it sound better. Like, citizen, I need your information. Can you please give it to me now? Anyway. Right. Next one. Now we're back to lab questions. Would you beat Luna if you arm wrestled?
Yes.
Yep, there we go.
Except she would cheat and probably bite me. Because she does bite. Yeah. Because she says it's not in the rules that you can't bite during an arm wrestling competition.
She's not wrong. She isn't wrong, but still, yeah, I would count that as cheating in my own playbook. Like, I think I'd be too scared, though, to arm wrestle someone. Like, I know... I could also say, yes, I've gotten stronger in that sense. But, like, when I was younger, I think I watched, like, I don't think it was a compilation, or maybe it was a compilation, but basically people's arms popping, like, when they're doing arm wrestling. And that probably put me off, like, wanting to arm wrestle. Like, I mean, obviously, like, if a younger relative of mine came up to me and would be like, oh, arm wrestle me, then, yeah, I would do that for fun. But, like, if I was up against another person that was proper strong, or I thought they were the same strength as me, I'm like, I'm fine. I'll go along with it, but you can win this one. I'm not losing my arm today. Or, like, having it get dislodged.
I wouldn't do a serious one where it would maybe cause damage or something. I'd give up before then. Because I need my arms.
Yeah.
And I had one of the doctors I worked with, he went to the gym one day, during lunchtime and didn't come back because he was lifting weights and detached one of the muscles.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
And so when he did come in before he had surgery, it was like, oh. And yeah, his arm was never quite the same after he had surgery done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, take care. Like, because, again, touch wood for myself, I haven't broken a bone, or I think I've come close to it with my pinky toe before. But it was that bad that my dad told me that I might as well have just broken it. Not in a horrible sense or anything like that, but more so of just a pain sense. He said you might as well have just broken it. But I've just been very lucky. That's why, like, I'm always very cautious of that sort of stuff, especially when I did the manual handling training again at work. Like, it was good to do that, to remind me, yeah, it's no harm to just take your time lifting something properly. And if you know you can't lift it properly for a distance, then just, well, get the proper equipment to help you lift certain items, like, because it's just not worth it, especially throwing out your back, like, because that
I
affects you
think
for
a
your
little
entire
more of
life.
it than I used to. I think a little more of it than I used to because I have degenerative disc disease in my back, so I can't lift as well. But when I was younger and I'd be doing, a dental cleaning on a dog, and the dog might be, I think the heaviest one I lifted was 225 pounds. And then when I was done, hefted him up and put him in the kennel like it was nothing. And now I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, 102 kilos. Sorry, I was just looking up the conversion on that.
Oh.
Jesus,
I could have done the 2.2, but I didn't want to.
Yes. God, yeah, because I need to get new weights for myself. I only have 5 kilogram ones in my house. Could probably lift 10. They'd be fine. I'm just trying to think the last time when I actually was lifting weights before.
10. Oh, so 20 pounds. A little over 20 pounds.
Yeah, it's almost like double the amount. Like, as I said there, 225 is 102.
2.2 kilograms per pound.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, well, if you do if you do a gallon of water, pounds per gallon, they just need to carry 2 of those in one arm.
So 8 pounds per gallon water. So that's 8.3 pounds, and 8.3 pounds. That's so double that. Yeah, that would be around 16 kilograms. I'm losing the plot here. It's just my brain's like it's trying to be smart with calculations. Like, sorry, go ahead.
So the reason why I mentioned that is because the last term my son had to do a weightlifting class because it was 1 credit and he needed to fill it in for his student aid. And we don't have weights at home. So he was using gallons of water as weights to do the curls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it was cheaper. So I was saying, I don't bother buying the weights because they charge $1 per pound here, basically, for the weights. And you just use gallons of water, gallons of milk.
Yeah, no, actually, I don't doubt you at that point, because I think the weights I have there must have been around, 30 quid or something like that? They're 5 kilogram each, so what? I'm getting charged €3 per kilogram, essentially. Which is madness when you think about that. But the funny story, actually, the shop I got them from is shutting down now, so guess maybe.
Oh, they might have some on sale then.
Mm-hmm. Should go back in at some point. But I do remember trying to lift them around the town when it was weaker. Be like, don't worry, I got it. I'll keep lifting them. Because we didn't have like bags strong enough to put them in.
You have a car.
What?
You can just put them in your trunk now. You can just put them in your trunk now. You don't have to carry them on the bus.
Yeah, true that. Right. Lab also asked, do you know another language, ever wanted to learn another language? So, basically, do you know it, or have you ever wanted to learn another language?
So, in high school, I wanted to learn German, but they only offered it at the other high school, and I didn't have a car, so I wasn't able to do that. I still wouldn't mind. Japanese we're working on. And I know enough Spanish to hold a conversation with the migrant workers that come into the station. So I can usually ask them about their day, talk about the weather, ask them how much gas, talk about the beer, ask them if they want a bag. So I know enough Spanish to get by. And I used to know enough Spanish to do a physical exam on a pet, because that's the field I was in at the time. Other than that, languages are cool. I don't mind learning, words here and there, and it's just my brain can't always remember it all.
Nah. Like, I know with myself, especially when I've streamed so much, I kind of notice that, like, every so often I'll just say certain phrases in language. It's just like, if I remember a phrase in a language, like, I'll probably say it like Guten Tag and Jovlafon, which means, well, as PewDiePie said, fuck my vagina. That's why I usually say that when I'm very scared of something in a game, or If I'm very pressured, I'm like, oh, drop the phone. But yeah, no, it is like for me, like of course I'd like to learn certain languages and stuff like that. I mean, Irish would obviously be like, in a sense, it would be my number one because it would be nice to kind of flex that. Yes, I've like lived in Ireland over 20 years and I actually do know the language more than literally 98% of the population. I guess second would be Japanese in a sense because I mean, obviously I am going to go to Japan one day. Just depends when. But I do know, like, before I go as well, I'd love to at least know some phrases. I don't want to just completely depend on the phone if I can. Unless the people that I talk to over there are just, like, they hear me struggling in Japanese and they just switch to English. Like, oh, you're struggling in English. It's like, it makes it all pointless at that point. And is there, like, another language down? I guess I'd maybe restudy English at this point because the amount of, like, stuttering and whatchamacallit, the amount of times I've messed up just saying simple things, maybe. But no, in seriousness though, what else would I learn? I don't really know. Honestly, for me, it's kind of just those, I guess. Just literally Irish and, like, Japanese in a sense. It'd be kind of cool, like, obviously that kind of prospect of just watching anime and just knowing immediately what they're saying without needing to, like, read subtitles. Like, I've been such a subtitle watcher that, like, I can't really watch anything else anymore now without subtitles on. Even if it's in English, it's like, oh, it's nice to just have it at the bottom anyway. Especially in Genshin, obviously, there's the subtitles there. Like, I will probably read what's in the subtitles first, then listen to what they're saying, like. No, yeah, that's all good, Edith. Chill about. I think it's mostly EU countries that will switch to English if you're struggling with your native language. I think Asian countries aren't as fluent, which is why English teachers are in very high demand there, yeah. At least from what you're saying, yeah. Do you have anything to add, Golden, before I move on?
No. I forgot I did learn French in second grade because of the school that my grandmother had put me in, but yeah, that's just enough to say hello and
Sava.
various items. But that's it. But no, I think we covered that.
Yeah. Right. So the next question is then, do you prefer being in mountainous area, close to the coast, or a big city?
I prefer being kind of mountainous, woodsy area. I don't like people that much, so I don't like being in big cities. It's too crowded. Gives me panic attacks. Ocean is fun to visit, but yeah, I kind of prefer woodsy areas.
I think too much about when you live at the coast that, like, if weather was to hit the shit, like, in a certain part of the country or in the country, then, like, you know, the coast would usually have it, like, the worst, especially if it's, like, high winds and so on and so forth like that. Like, I just wouldn't like that myself, like.
Well, usually, like on our coast, there are spots and it's sirens for tsunamis.
Yeah.
And if there's like an earthquake here or there, then they set off the sirens. And there is literally like a line on the highway that says, hey, if you're past this line, you might make it. And one of the lighthouses we visited, there was a school near there that had gotten wiped out once during a tsunami, and you can see, the playground equipment's still there. And it was from a long, long time ago, but it's like scary. So yeah, I don't like the whole living at the coast, visiting. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I think we don't have to go rapid just yet. I'm just keeping an eye on the time as well. Let me scroll back to where we were. Right. Do you think there were enough bear questions in the last episode?
I think there was probably the perfect amount of bear questions, only to learn that he's a lemon.
I mean, I'll be honest, even myself, I kind of learned that at the last second. It's once I got his PNG, I was like, oh, okay, we're going with a lemon theme for this one. As opposed to bear, like. But of course, Brando explained in the last episode why he is referred to as bear, like. Show me the time. Right. What is something Joe should really stream? You have the floor. What will you suggest to me?
I think it'd be, like I said before, I think it'd be really cool if you could get that developer, if he would do a podcast. I think you'd have to do a little more kind of set questions type thing. Um, and then maybe because he is a developer, he might want to see them beforehand. But that would be, I think, a really cool stream, especially when the new game comes out and maybe you start streaming it. If they pop back in, that would be I think that would be a cool stream. And I think that would probably be a game-changing stream too.
Yeah, because I was looking at their profile recently, because sometimes when I edit down VODs, I just scroll Twitter, which I am going to try and change, because I was actually playing a little bit of Slay the Spire, and I'm not going to lie, I actually was really enjoying it, so I might actually play some of that whilst editing down the thing. But they were mentioning something about that recently. Yeah, so I shared it in the Discord about the 5,000 downloads. So they were saying episode 4, The Expunged Turnabout, will be releasing later this year. So I think they did say they were a bit busy, especially on their timeline on Twitter, because they have a busier job, I believe. But it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think that would also be a cool idea, that if they were if they were actually on the podcast for one episode, like, just to talk to them a bit more about the game design aspect and stuff. And I guess at that point that would be somebody I could have on as well, the nerd about Love Live with as well, like, because
Yeah.
I am the one Love Live stan on top of the hill of the non-Love Live existence. And we can especially cry about the fact that, like, one of the idol groups recently just closed off being, I think, well, they didn't close off their incomplete activities, but, like, they're not going to be performing as the whole group anymore. It's not the main group of that the game is based on, but it was some of the characters that we've seen, like Chica and Yo and all that. Like, their actual idol group, like, just finished off their 10-year contract, like. But
Oh, wow.
about that. It's very sad, because actually that was like one of the first groups in the anime that I seen, like, and it's sad to see them go, but it was a nice send off as well. I've seen some of their videos, but anyway, not to mention it too much. But yeah, hopefully that'll happen. Either that, or I'll have a podcast episode with my mom. Maybe I might even ask her soon, and then watch me still not ask. Or think of another idea or another guest to have on the podcast, because initially the podcast was meant to be a joke to bring back. That's why ReactBot was like the first one to be on it when it came back. But yeah, sure, we'll see. You never know what the future will hold.
That is true.
Actually,
But otherwise, I like the games that you play, so.
Ah, yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get into this question, actually, that reminds me as well about working in the garage and selling alcohol. I'm pretty sure. No, wait. I say I'm pretty sure garages don't. Actually, no. Yeah, I don't think they do. At least from the garages I've been in Ireland, I don't think any of them actually sell alcohol.
Well, see, it's not a garage. We don't do any car repair or tires or anything like that. It's more of it's a petrol stop with a convenience store, a convenience attached.
Oh yeah, true.
So,
yeah.
So a little different. Yeah, that would be weird, because that'd be like me going to the tire shop and them selling, wine and beer.
Yeah.
They don't do that. That would be interesting. It'd make buying tires a lot more enjoyable. But yeah, no, it's a convenience store, just a small grocery store with gas pumps attached.
Ah, okay, yeah. No, I
and that's how
understand
a lot of the gas stations are in the area.
Let's see.
And usually if you want to go to a garage, most of them are completely separate repair shops, not attached to the stations at all.
Ah, okay, yeah. Because I know a lot, like, there is obviously a few in Ireland that are on their own as well. but some of them will also be attached or literally be right next door to a garage. So, yeah. Do you ever make any beverages? I'm not sure what Lab is asking. But I think you do.
Well, I used to. I'm not sure what he's asking, but I used to make moonshine. Just, really strong distilled alcohol. And I used to do a couple different flavors. I'd make like a caramel or a coffee, but I used to add CBD to it.
Yeah.
And because that doesn't affect me, and because of things that run in my extended family, alcohol doesn't affect me as much as it does other people. So I would make a batch, and then I would say, "Hey, can you guys, try this out? Tell me what you think." And apparently, I guess it tasted good, but two, I guess it was a really effective beverage. And so I used to make and maybe or maybe not sell it occasionally.
Yeah.
So that's what he's asking about. Otherwise, at home, we just make matcha or coffee, and we don't use a kettle. We'll use the microwave to heat up the water sometimes, only because with the pot that we have to go turn on the propane stove and put the pot of water on to heat it up.
Oh, the pot.
That's a big trouble because it eats propane.
Yeah.
And propane is expensive.
I understand. I'm trying to hold back.
So he won't yell at me for using the microwave to heat up water.
So you don't have a kettle now? Or does the kettle need to be... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, we don't have an electric kettle because that's electricity. Yeah. But we have a pot, and it looks like an old coffee pot percolator type thing, but it's for water. And in the wintertime, we just let it sit on the wood stove, and so we always have hot water.
Yeah.
In the summer, if you really want to, or if more than one person wants coffee or tea, then we'll go take it in the kitchen and we'll heat it up on the cook stove. Otherwise, we'll just microwave a cup of water and heat it up that way. Because, it takes 2 minutes versus it takes, 10 minutes to boil water.
Yeah, see, look, I do understand that it is more convenient there. I think there must be an Irish and British part of me that's reeling at the fact that it's microwave, but I understand your situation where it's basically just faster and it's more convenient for what you have in the house to heat the water rather than just waiting that time. It's better to just microwave it as opposed to, especially with it being a propane tank, and as you said, it's expensive as well. So I'll have to let it. I'll let it be for today. I won't say anything more about it because I was gonna say,
at least Oyster's not there because he would yell at me. I even sent him a video one day on how to piss off your daughter's British boyfriend, and it was me microwaving a cup of water for tea.
Yeah, and admittedly, I can't say too much as well because, even though my dad was born in Britain as well, he used to microwave his coffee, and I did the same method because that was the easiest way to do it at the time. But of course, slowly over time, I did change. I literally, obviously now I use a kettle. I boil the water, and then I used to actually put in mostly milk and then a bit of coffee, but it's changed. Basically, I'm trying to be I make coffee better. No, but no, it's more so just with what I have, I can just make that. I don't know where else I'm going with the sentence, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, in the winter, we'll use the kettle because it's always hot and always on the stove.
Yeah.
And if we're out and about, then we'll just use the stove top to heat up the water. But a lot of times, especially in the summer, when you don't want to heat up the kitchen with the propane stove, it's easier just to microwave it for a couple minutes.
Yeah. I would ask this question, but I already know the answer to it. It just says tea or coffee. And I'm assuming it's still tea.
Yeah, I still prefer TT.
Yeah. Do. This is a question for me. Other than Joe, who's a famous person you loved working with? Halo emoji.
Oh, Joe's the best, of course.
Yes, of course.
So I have met lots of people. Let's see. When I worked at GoPro, I worked with Taylor Swift's stage manager. To help him set up cameras and configure cameras. I worked with the director and the producer of a movie called, I think it was Agent 47.
Oh, that sounds like a Hitman related one.
Yeah. And he wanted to do an array of cameras to do some slow-mo react type thing. Let's see. I also talked to the stage manager and producer and helped them with their cameras for like the Emmys and the Oscars.
Jeez.
And then just people that I've met, Robin Williams, because I lived in the Bay Area, so there's lots of people that lived in the Bay Area. When I was younger, like in high school or just leaving high school, I worked at an old movie theater, like really old antique movie theater. And oh, my brain just died.
You worked at an old
Clint
antique
Eastwood.
movie theater.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood came in and he asked if he could take a look around because he used to go there when he was younger. And so I gave him a tour and stuff. And I remember I went home and told my grandma, I'm like, hey, I met Clint Eastwood today. And at the time I was doing modeling. And she's like, did you give him your headshot? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Hey, come on in. Let me show you around the movie theater. By the way, here's my headshot. So, no. Let's see. I have met, I know that Lab asked about like Prince and Michael Jackson, who I have not met, but I have met Snoop Dogg, the cast of Kiss. Matter of fact, I have a picture of my son at about 6 months old being held by Peter Criss. Let's see. Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know. There's lots of people that I've had the privilege of meeting and talking to. I used to talk online way back during the pandemic to Vin Diesel. He's a good singer too, by the way.
Vin Diesel.
And then Dan Papameyer from Phineas and Ferb. We're mutuals on one of my TikTok accounts. Pink, Lady Gaga. Yeah. I've gotten the pleasure to work with and or meet and talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, no, you weren't fucking lying. Jesus. I like even just thinking about myself and who I've met over time. Like at one stage, I would have said like the closest thing to me, like who would have been famous-ish people, would literally just be YouTubers and streamers. Like I know where me and my mate were sitting when we were watching the KSI fight. This was in Manchester. I was very like literally. I was basically underneath like the Sidemen crew. Like KSI's friend group. And then obviously I'd seen KSI and Logan Paul in the distance. But then obviously, like, obviously this year I've had the pleasure of meeting Pyrocynical himself, like. But, like, there's nobody on the celebrity level I think I've ever met. And I think that's just simply because, like, in Ireland, like, not a lot of celebrities kind of, like, pop over to Ireland being like, yo, how's it going? Like, especially, like, like I go to Dublin sometimes, but I don't go all the time. And like even with Dublin, they wouldn't really have a lot of celebrities just like kind of randomly walking around the streets. Like, but then again, I haven't just been to a lot of places. Is the main thing. That's probably why I haven't met like a lot of different people. Because yeah, genuinely, I'm just trying to think now. Like, there's nobody else other than really YouTubers or anything like that that I've actually met. Like, yeah, no, can't really think of much else. You've definitely been very blessed and privileged to just meet like so many different talented people from like all sorts of celebrities that are in all sorts of media. Just to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, because I lived in California most of my life, and so San Francisco is there, and they do movies in San Francisco, and so it's just lucky to be able to meet people. Joe Montana, so I've met, ball players too, and stuff like that. And then, like I said, in some of the jobs, it's just a matter of, oh, okay. Them needing help, and most of them are just really cool people. You just treat them like people. And then during the pandemic is when I kind of got a chance to talk to more of them more personally, because at the time some people were just starting up TikTok to keep themselves entertained. So I just happened to be there, and it's like, oh yeah, remember I ran into you here, there, or whatever. So we become just strange little mutuals.
Indeed, yeah. Like, I did think of a thing in the back of my head, like Swifties. This person has met your queen. Come, Swifties, we must converse. We must converse right now.
Now, I've never met Taylor Swift, only her stage manager.
Oh yeah, true. Sorry, true. She's met the stage manager. Basically, same thing. Come on, couple in. Yeah, no, that's mad. Like, jeez, yeah. Right. Anyway, moving on from that. Like, it's too exciting even to speak about anything else. I'm getting tongue-tied just trying to think about it. No, you don't have to be sorry. I'm just like, just trying to fathom that, like, just meeting all them various people. But as you said, like, the main thing is, at the end of the day, like, no matter what celebrity you met anyway, like, just treat them as a person and help them out where you can if they ask for help,
Yeah, that's about it. It's just it's weird sometimes because I don't think about it, because they're people, and they've done really cool. Like one of my good friends, I've watched him go from basically like a nobody. His name's Will, and he used to do rodeos and do trick shooting and stuff. And when Oppenheimer came out, he's actually in that movie.
Oh, is
so
it? Yeah.
it's really cool to see that my friend Will has just watched him over the years just succeed.
Yeah. Do you know like what role he plays? Like, is he a background character or a sub character or main character?
No, he's a sub character.
Sorry, I couldn't think of the other name for it. Was supporting character? Sorry, not sub character.
Well, support, same abbreviation.
Ah, yeah. No, that's fair play to them. Like,
he didn't get to go down the red carpet, but he did get to go to the award separate award dinner for the other support characters during the Oscars.
I mean, hey, look, he's there, like, and it's fair play to him. That's still like getting to that spot, because I'd imagine there's probably some people that worked on the film that didn't even get invited to that, like, with how big productions are.
A lot.
Right. Anyway, moving on to the next question, not from myself, from Lab. Well then, can you tell us about your jobs and your Hollywood infamy? Well, I mean, we kind of already went over a lot of that, but is there any other little bits and like nook and cranny stuff in between that you want to mention about meeting all the different celebrities, or?
No. Let's see. I worked at the movie theater when I was finishing high school and doing modeling, and then after that, I went to specialty school for animal husbandry and became a vet tech. And that was pretty normal. Occasionally met people. That's when I, you know, met Kiss. Even did some work with a tribute band, a Kiss tribute band called Kiss Army. Let's see. I also was a bartender at that time for a little bit. Didn't meet anybody exciting there. Just usual townies.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, GoPro was pretty cool because you never knew who was going to call you up and want to talk about whatever or need help reprogramming the cameras or setting them up to do whatever they wanted them to do. Yeah. I think that's about it.
God, yeah.
You know, just odds and ends stuff. Streaming. Streaming started kind of more gung ho after we moved to Oregon. So about 2008, 2010 type of thing. And then that's more where I got to talk to online people who were streamers. It started mainly with like Roblox developers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
I don't know why I imagine Moist Critical's voice there at the second. So, yeah, that's about it. Says. Because he always kind of ends the video very nonchalantly, like. Yeah, no, I guess then we can move on. I guess it's a weird kind of final question, but I forwarded something from Media Memes and GIFs. Because I think you left it in and you were saying, like, I'm going to put this here if you guys can ask about it, / or whenever, / if ever we do the podcast. And it's about the Klamath Falls man in custody after standoff at AMA Mini Mart.
So the gas stations or mini marts that we work at are called AMA and their own family, and he's owned them for years. And luckily, Luna and I were not there at the time this happened because it happened on a Saturday. So I was at the other one at the end of town. And a gentleman who was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I guess, had stolen a gun and had his family held, or not his family, but like a sister-in-law and something held hostage in a house a couple streets down. Things happened there and he left. And somehow he ended up at the station that Luna and I are at on Monday, Tuesday, and every other Wednesday. And was waving the gun around, and the cashier who was there, she was pissed and tried to stand up to him, and then he basically chased everybody out of the store and locked himself in. And then he proceeded to trash the frickin' store. I mean, he knocked things down. He wanted the cameras to go offline so we couldn't spy on him. So he poured energy drinks all over the computers. Surprise, camera still worked. He threw a wine bottle through one of the walls. The wine bottle didn't break, but the wall did. And then in his weird state, he took his shirt off and proceeded to like break dance on the floor. And because he had broken all the bottles and stuff, he got blood everywhere. The police were outside probably for a couple hours with SWAT team and stuff. And they missed him with the rubber bullets, but they did finally immobilize him with flashbangs, and he gave up. But he just trashed the whole gas station. We're still cleaning it up. That was the pictures that I posted of like the half-empty store because he had just trashed everything. But yeah, that's some of what happens in our lovely small town. Drugs are bad. That is my
the main takeaway from
that
that.
is my thought of the day. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. It's also, and I know it's not a good thing to say, but it's also you know, it's a good thing he came on the day he did, because he got the chance to walk away.
Yeah.
Because there were certain people that work there on certain days where he wouldn't have gotten the chance to walk away, especially seeing that he already had a gun in his hand. So, you know, it was just a weird thing of events, and I felt like sharing the confusion.
Just here as well, like, because, yeah, no, it's just, like, again, with how coincidental the timing is that you didn't work on that day as well, like, but as you were saying as well, it's good that you got to walk away, because all it took was for the cashier, like, I don't know if you can maybe disclose it because of work-related stuff, but, like, I'm assuming, would you have, like, any weaponry behind the till, or is that more so just for your own personal protection, like weaponry?
Yeah, so it depends on who's working.
Yeah.
So if he had come, Melissa, the girl who was working, Melissa, she's shorter than me, and she didn't really have anything to protect herself. But Luna made the point she should have just grabbed the scissors, had her right there because they're really sharp. The gentleman who works the morning shift before me is taller than the guy who came in and is ex-military, so he probably wouldn't have survived him, even though he can't have a sidearm because of past mistakes that he's made. I probably would have had a sidearm, plus I've done martial arts since I was 6 years old. So there's been times when people have tried to steal from me, and I've caught them at the door and done a quick little joint twitch and pulled what they got away from them. And the way he came in is where Luna usually sits. So I definitely would have mama beared, and he would not have walked out.
Yeah, no, like it's just scary shit thinking about those possibilities, but thank God we're on this particular timeline where that didn't even need to happen. Like, you didn't need to intervene.
Yeah.
The guy actually got to walk away as well. Because even, like, again, could have been just one, like, even just the military guy there, that, like, he could have been just in that day, and he would have been, like, I'm assuming he would have been justified in a sense to retaliate, especially if he's destroying property, like, damage at that stage. And
well, he didn't destroy anything until he had kicked everybody out, luckily. But when because the video we watched, he walks in and walks behind the counter, and Melissa stands there and, well, gets in his face as best as she can, and he's waving the gun kind of like over his head, and so she and everybody else, he kicks everybody out. So the other patrons that were in there and her leave. And then that's when he started pouring stuff on the computers and tearing up the store.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying. And I would have felt bad afterwards, because later we learned that gun was empty that he was waving around. But at the time or in the moment, nobody knew that.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that, yeah, like, because regardless, like, even if the gun is empty and they're just waving it around, you can't just take that chance to say, they're bluffing, there's no bullets in the chamber in that gun anyway. Like, you just assume, like, I mean, if he was waving that in front of an officer straight down on the ground, he would have been probably dead. Like they wouldn't probably take that chance because he's, like, Cocoa Puffed out of his mind, as you would say, like.
Yeah, he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he probably wouldn't have even gone behind the counter if that other guy was in there. Like, but even at that, like, the other guy would have been seeing the gun and he would have instantly been like, nope, you're going straight to the ground. Like, whether it be, you know, pulling out a firearm or restraining him. More likely restraining if the guy was out of his mind and going straight up to the military guy, like, or ex-military, should I say, sorry. And
well, I mean, even without anything, you know, just a quick knee to the no-no square probably would have dropped him pretty quick. So,
yeah.
I'm surprised that Melissa didn't do that, but I think she was just too amped up on him being where he shouldn't be.
Yeah. You know, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's like, you get to meet all these celebrities, and even just that happening, like, what was that? That was 25th of June. That was okay. So that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we're still trying to clean the place up.
Yeah. No, even just from that one shot I see of like the place stored, like I don't doubt that you're still trying to clean up stuff now. Because something like that wouldn't be easy to just clean up in a matter of a few days. It definitely would take a while.
Well, it wouldn't be so bad, except that he had poured liquids over everything. Chips, candy, the computer. It just, everything is sticky and gross. And then there was blood everywhere too, so yeah.
But I know it's morbid to ask. Sorry if it is a bit morbid to ask, but you guys don't have to clean that, do you? The blood as well?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, Jesus.
We had gloves and bleach. So.
God, yeah. Again, just...
I mean, it's not like it's not like anybody has a team to come in or the cops are going to go, hey, let us clean this up for you. And the guy's in jail, so it's not like he's going to come back and clean it up. So unfortunately, it's left to the employees who have to clean up the mess that the morons leave behind.
That's why, like, especially, I was going to mention there, like, even though, even if I do feel a little annoyed towards certain employees in, like, when I'm going to a shop maybe to buy something or going to a place to eat out, I still don't really get too peeved off where I'm actually being a dickhead, because I know myself that, especially in retail situations as well, like, they're not being paid enough to give a shit about what I randomly think, like, like, it's better to just treat them with more respect and just try and be as best you can. Like, even if there was when I was getting the car checked, there's like a little coffee sit area. Well, I think I opened something and or maybe it was the water or something that accidentally spilled out. Like, just little, like, drops. But even at that, like, I still was like, oh no, hold on, let me get just a quick paper towel here and just wipe it down. I just can't help, like, trying to keep the place the same way I left it as much as I can. Like, I mean, that even goes as far as me just parking my car outside. Like, it's like, I can't just stop outside the house and leave the car immediately. Or even anywhere for that matter. I have to, like, put the car in neutral, go out the car, look around, make sure I'm in the spot properly, make sure the car is not in the way of something, and then I can put it off, like. But anyway, sorry, that turned into another little tangent. I'm going to stop that there before it goes any further.
No, it makes sense. Most of my customers are really nice, and they understand I don't control the prices of the beer, the cigarettes, the gas, and they'll clean up after themselves. I mean, occasionally you get morons who think you control everything, but don't clean up after their dog when they let it in the store and it shits on the floor.
Jesus,
but they're pretty far and few in between.
Yeah. Oh, entitlement.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Fred? Don't worry, I didn't forget Fred was here. Joe, you just reminded me I need to call Citroen. Oh, that's good, yeah. Just because I mentioned about my car, so you're going to get your car checked now. Yeah, I guess just one final thing I will mention. Just a little funny note at the last second. Because I was mentioning there about Destiny Rising and stuff like that. So this is technically just the news little section before we wrap up. I did see, actually, there's a new trailer out for Destiny Rising, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty surprised at the quality of it. Like, I think the alpha made it look a lot more mobile esque as opposed to what it looks like now. Like, now when I looked at the trailer, it actually looked more very close to how Destiny 2's graphics are like, which is very strange. But I'm looking forward to that, because that's coming out 28th of August. Don't mind me, I just have to get my head Bungie/Destiny talk in for today. I will definitely.
I think the next game I'm supposed to download is the Elder Scrolls, the new one there.
Oh, the remaster, is it?
Yeah, my name is the second part of the name escapes me, but yeah, I'm supposed to download that one.
So wait, it's either Elder Scrolls or Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, sorry.
Ah, yeah. The basically open world Dark Souls. I still haven't gone back to Elden Ring in a long time myself. I think it was back in 2022 when I last played it. Like, I just thought
it's a pretty good
more.
game.
It is, yeah. No, especially for someone like me who is not really good at Dark Souls games. Like, I love the kind of open world aspect to it. Ooh. Its MOT runs out a week Monday. I'm assuming that's like motor something tax, maybe? Or maybe... Nah, I can't think of the acronym. But yeah, no, it's good that I've reminded you about that, man. So you can keep on the road, like. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. If you guys want to ask any last minute questions to Golden before we wrap up the episode, go ahead. And of course, Golden, if you have anything else left to say before we wrap up, then do let us know.
I don't know. We talked about a lot.
We did, yeah. Went on many tangents. Well, mainly me just kind of just thinking like of one thing and then trying to tie it into another thing, but it probably doesn't even really tie properly. But sure, look at it's just no bitches.
No bitches.
No bitches.
No bitches. Yeah, Nicole's a very sweet streamer. Like, I love that time when we raided her. Like, Ministry of Transport. That's it. Yeah. We have Fred here as well. Ooh, it's nice to have you back.
That's one thing I really like about the state I live in. I don't have to do smog check. Just have to register the cars every 2 years and have insurance. I don't have to worry about doing smog or anything.
Oh, so that's probably... I'm assuming smog could be more for like when you're...
Bitches.
No bitches. I'm assuming that's more for when you're maybe closer to bigger towns, right? Or...
Well, no. So the state I'm in doesn't have it. When I lived in California, they're pretty strict on their emissions controls for the cars, and it would cost about $80+ to go get your car tested before you could register it. Half the time it would fail, and you'd have to pay to have it retested. And usually they would fail because the catalytic converter needed to be replaced or, whatever reason.
Yeah.
So at least in Oregon, I don't have to have smog, so that saves money. And the registration is a lot cheaper. I can get 2 years for what I was paying down in California for 1 year.
Ah, yeah. Trying to think of car costs myself. I know... In Ireland, we do have the NCT, so that's the National Car Test. I think, well, it might actually be that, but it's similar enough sounding to that. Some cars, I think it depends how old they are. They have to be tested just in general for important like motor functions like headlights and indicator lights, how the engine's going, gearbox, tire pressure, I believe, would fall under it as well. But some cars would have to be tested like every year. But I believe my one is probably every 2 years because it's October next year when I need to get it actually NCT'd, which is actually pretty handy. Because I think my dad actually had to get his car done every year, if I remember right. Or maybe it wasn't. And then obviously, hopefully now... a year from now, my insurance will be like, oh, look, you're paying a lot less this time because you've been a good driver.
Yeah, that's goofy because, say in California, I bought a car, whether it's new, used, was just smogged or emission tested. If I'm transferring ownership and getting a new title, registering it, I would still have to do that test first. Even if it was just done 2 months ago by the previous owner.
Oh, that's annoying,
so that's kind of cool that yours follows the car and not the owner's ownership of the car for your test.
Yeah. I do find that pretty handy. I think
Save you some money.
Because I think if it was like taxed before it was given into the into the motor dealership as well, like I believe it still would have covered the car itself, because the tax is also just based on the car. It's not based on maybe more of a combination of you and the car. It's more of just the car itself. I do believe though insurance would definitely just be more of it definitely would be a 50-50, I'd say, between you and the car, like how you drive and what is the condition of the car you're currently driving like.
Yeah, we get a choice on insurance, so most of it is how well you drive. It's like your record, how many times you've been pulled over, accidents you've had. But then you also get the option of how much coverage you want. You could have a full coverage, which costs a lot, so if you hit a car or a car hits you, can almost replace your whole car or get you a new one. We have just liability, so if we fuck up or uninsured motorist hits us, then we get insurance that way, but only up to a certain amount.
Yeah. I'm very paranoid with things, so I ended up going full comprehension. So essentially I was told, like, if the car was in an accident, I don't even think I have to even get into an accident with someone, or maybe I do. No, maybe it would be. But basically, like, if it's that bad where the car's written off the road, I basically can get, like, I think almost a little bit over the amount of money I paid for the car, which is pretty handy. So that obviously praying that never happens, but if ever it does happen and I have money spare over as well, I'd hope to be getting a good car by that time. Like, but again, praying I can at least go on for a few years with the current car I have. Like, it's been a few through quite a bit of a life. 5 other owners before me, so.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so praying it'll hold up for now. Like, as I've said before with the car hunt and stuff like that, you just kind of have to take what you get and go from there. Like, I've got 14 years. It's a safety test. Tax is the only thing that doesn't stay with the car. Oh, for you, yeah. For in the UK. Right. Anyway, I think that's a good place to wrap up today's episode. Finally, after over a week of it being delayed.
It's all good. Life happens.
Yeah. Right, now let me not close Discord like I did on a few people by accident while I was wrapping up. But yeah, no, thank you, Golden, and thank you everybody else for watching the stream, lurking in the background on all sides. Tomorrow I'll be working, but I might stream. It depends, and if I do stream, it'd be nice to kind of finish up Deltarune, because that boss fight was doing me in a little bit. It's a bit tough now, I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, mainly to you, Golden. Thank you so much for obviously suggesting for you to come on, and well, maybe Luna also pushing the idea forward as well. And just, thank you for being here and having a good chat with me.
No worries, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all, Golden. Yeah, no, I have no other closing words. So I'll see you hopefully in the next stream, or whenever you're around in the future.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
And goodbye to everybody else here before the whole stream breaks down. It's already breaking down. Oh, jeez, it's so bright. I'm so used to seeing the black background, like. Let's see. So my 21 plate had its first MOT last year. My T plate has 14 years left until I don't pay motor and tax. Oh, okay, yeah. Right. Sorry, let me actually wrap up before I stay here for a bit longer. I do have work tomorrow. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Should be back tomorrow with Deltarune, because the kind of schedule right now is Genjin stream, Deltarune stream, then Little Nightmares, but we could probably do a Deltarune / Little Nightmares maybe tomorrow or Saturday or something like that. Sunday, I don't know what's happening yet. Obviously, I'll let you guys know on the day if I'm going to stream or not. And then Monday, I should still have off because my work hours are essentially my work hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I didn't even realize. I think this is like the first Thursday I've streamed in a while. Which is lucky because it obviously lined up when Golden was free and available to do the podcast episode with us as well. Let me just double check that because I'm pretty sure it is, isn't it? Hold on, let me go into calendar here for a minute. So 26th. Let's see, was there any streams on the 26th? Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, there was a stream on the 26th. So maybe... Oh, never mind. It's not that unique. But anyway, again, thank you guys so much for watching.